Folks, welcome to the Call of Duty Challengers Elite Stage 3. We're looking at the European side of things, so it's going to be a grand old time as we were watching day 1 yesterday. We're now into day 2, and to take you along for the ride, it's myself, Seymour, alongside Enigma. Enigma, how are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm good. I mean, I've due to several things, particularly around myself just being unavailable. I've not gotten to do a lot of elite this year, so in here nice and early, get involved. Really
Oh,
excited
yeah.
for it. Of course, these are some of the best sides that we have in Europe, and so soon after the pro am as well. There's a lot of stories to be told, a lot of statements to be made. Looking forward to it, my guy.
You know, being in season 3 already, we're pretty much halfway through the year. So this is a time where we're going to be seeing a lot of teams look to level up and step their game up. So I'm excited for this stage. I've been looking forward to it. It seems like it's been forever since we've had an elite season. Season 2 was way before even the Minnesota Open. So it's been quite a time, but I mean, the teams have been turning up, and today we're going to be taking a look into day number 2, starting off with our main focus, Celio Signs versus Team War. And I'm excited for this one because both teams yesterday, they looked fantastic, specifically Enigma. When I was taking a look at Celio Signs, that team looked great.
Yeah, I think the surprise package of yesterday, of course, with it being the elite, we're expecting it to be very, very close. But every now and again, we can get some teams just be very much so anchored to the bottom of the group standings. And I think that some people might have put some money on Celio being one of the sides that struggled. They come out, they 3-2 Dos Tontos. They then only lose in the game 5 to Invincibles. And games where you probably, up against Invincibles, I feel like that's a bit of a statement making
It
of
is.
we're here to compete. We are here to take part. We don't want to just be a side that gets brushed to the wayside here.
Oh, and it really shows you how, underrated I'd say these Celio Signs players are. I mean, specifically yesterday, Depa and Cobra were having a fantastic time on the map. And I'm looking at them to repeat that today because this roster, in my eyes, all 4 players, super underrated players who have, they've been hot and cold throughout Cold War and even Vanguard this year. And now stepping up into the Elite Season 3, they're looking to be that statement team, like you're saying.
Yeah, and I think that the one thing that they really are going to have to get over throughout this period of time, throughout these coming games, is they need to make games where they're not doing very well off the rip. They need to make those much more contested because we saw scorelines yesterday where
Yes.
they won one hardpoint 250 to 210 against Dos Tontos, but then the other one they lose 250 to 84. Like that's a stomping. So it needs to become a bit more consistent, a bit better. If you are one of the sides that is coming in and trying to punch perhaps a little bit above your weight, and you want to prove that you're not one of those teams that should be underestimated, those games need to be closer. They need to be tighter. You can't go into games completely unsure of the form that you're going to bring into things. So I'm hoping that that's what they bring today. Team War is a big ask. It's a big step. Not that they can't do it, of course, but I want to see an improvement in how close some of those games are if they don't manage to get it over the line.
No, you're right. You don't want to be fighting off your back foot right off the rip in every single series, especially, like you said, against Team War. Previously, M7 Electrify over in the Minnesota Open, where they placed second just underneath Toronto Ultra NA. And now, I mean, they didn't have the best showing in the Pro-Am. They get sent back to Europe a little bit, kind of, I guess,
Tail
I
between the
was
legs.
unimpressed with them. Yeah, down between the legs, you could say for sure. And now inside this elite stage, the season 3, this is kind of where you're looking at this team to get back into form, so that you don't have to look to maybe make roster change going for the rest of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. Like this is a ridiculously good side. Denza, Wardy, Maple, Weeman, just 4 of the best names you could pluck out of Europe right now,
Right.
without a doubt, all on the same roster. I think, several of us, we've spoken about Wardy for years now. The journey that he's been on, the improvements that he's shown, the kind of prowess that he is showing across the map. Weeman and Denza and Maple have been here for a very long time. And I feel like they will come away from that pro-am, despite the difficult group, and it was a difficult group, we'll give them that. But despite that group, they will still come away very disappointed, and they've got to very much so assert themselves again. We are still one of the best teams in Europe. It was just an off showing for us.
Just not, what you want to do when you're coming back into the league season 3. Only winning out of 2 maps inside of the Pro-Am. Definitely, I think you and I both And I had a little bit more stocks built into this Team War team going into that Pro-Am. So I'm really looking at them to build it up again. I don't know about you, but I'm a big fan of Wardy. I think that Denza, on this team, he's been a main focus for EU challengers this year. But Wardy right alongside him, I think that he is a fantastic player inside Vanguard, and he's showing his worth this year.
Yeah, I mean, again, like several of us have made the comments about him over the years, and right at the start of last year, I started my casting journey last year with the start of Cold War and saw him on a couple of different sides, and I just thought this guy is definitely destined for the very top of European Call of Duty. He has what it takes. He's consistently stepping up in big moments, consistently performing. Really, really good player. Delighted to see him bring that into Vanguard. I think that the Pro-Am, there was an opportunity there to show if you're ready to make another jump, but perhaps a step too early, but definitely a player that I think really, really want to watch for maybe making the CDL jump in the future.
I'm excited to see what they can do, Enigma, when we do get them on stream, as that is going to be our main focus, but it's not our only focus, folks. We're going to be also taking a look into Bravo and Charlie, where you're looking at Invincibles versus Nixa over on Bravo, and then Dizzy's versus Rocker on Charlie. So I think we're going to be able to hop into those ones first. I don't think the Celio Science Team War players are lobbied up just yet, but as soon as we get into that, we're gonna hop into that right away. But I mean, speaking of side strays, speaking of these teams who are also looking to make some noise inside of the stage 3, it's Invincibles right now against Nixa. And Invincibles, maybe not the best day one. You talk about that map 5 against Celio Science, looking to also bring things back in their own right.
Yeah, absolutely. You can have these close games just go against you sometimes when you're playing at elite level, and the best way to get yourself over it is to answer back with a big one. And Bocage, we're in here. There's a 40-point swing, and in a lot of maps you won't care that much. Bocage, this can be an absolute mountainous comeback if you're going to be needing it. And straight off the bat here, Snake, JW, they're struggling. They need to get themselves moving.
We are looking at Invincibles for the retake there. See if they can take control of P5. Nixa doing a great job at slaying out, but not collecting any time at that. And they're still down 40 points. You can see Niall's going to lock down a quick 3 in a row, keeping Nixa on the back foot for those spawns. They're going to hop in for time, and a nade spam's going to keep them off for a bit. So you're looking at 11 seconds before the rotations back to the second set.
Yeah, and I was worried momentarily there because Invincibles seem to have Nixa pinned all the way in the back, but it's actually going to be Sean who's wrapped himself all the way around the tank side of the map, slipped the net, gets a grenade kill in the nade spam you were talking about. Has got his team in now for potentially P2 spawns. However, they're going to have to fight out for P1 and then still hold them. A long way to go yet.
Around the outside, you still look at player number 3, Grad in the back, looking to hold down those spawns for the Invincibles, but he's going to need his team to come through at some point. But let's head over to our main focus, folks. Back to a Bocage, since we're not looking at a change of setting, just a change of pace. Team War, Celio Signs, and this thing is just kicking off, Andy.
Oh, yeah, and already we man up to 4, showing the relentless pace that comes with this map. Go up to 6.
Oh, man.
Absolutely starting to cook it up as we get into this P2, and this really can be somewhere you can lock down a lot of time. Celio will be disappointed. They had the spawn side, and they're getting bullied back.
You don't want to get trapped back here. Wee Man on 7-2 with the auto as well. Not something that's easy to do on a Bocage, but gonna be Celio Signs looking for the outside in, looking to get things going. D3 up top tank. Wee Man's gonna get eyes on 4 in a row, making it 5. Oh no, Deppa pumps the brakes, turns around. He's gonna shut him down, and you'll get Denz on the inside, slides on in. It's gonna be Maple to back him up to find 2. Keeping time in their hands. 3 in a row for Maple. Wonderful shots at that. And look at the spawn. Celio Signs, they actually flipped this out, so not the worst case scenario, Andy.
I mean, for me, it might be a little bit early because you've still got plenty of time to contest here over on P2. But if you're going to do this, if you're going to invest, then you have to make sure you're set up well for 3, not allow the rotation. You can already see Maple picks up 3, Denza picks up 1. He's going to be able to push out, and Celio spawning so far away. Seymour, certainly not the start they would have wanted. Gotta start moving, otherwise Team War is just going to roll them over.
This is their chance, though, to bunker down into Grandma's. Just see if you can slay out Deppa. Gonna clear off 40 from inside of Grandma's, leaving Maple on a 5 spree, playing for these streaks. See if he can fish something on his own right, waiting for Team Roar to get into shape. Maple through the window, in and out. He's gonna find one, second one around the corner. Not ready for Deppa. Streak's not gonna be picked up from himself, but you can see Celio Signs handling business so far. They're gonna find another 3 down, and right now, only player really to spoil the fun is gonna be Wardy in the back.
Yeah, the only thing I was worried about there for a sec is they seem to have left the same gap that they'd had moments ago. But Cobra, who's apparently started 11 and 5, beautiful stuff, has managed to clean it up. His team will manage to sit in and hold it for a little bit. But here comes a wave of pressure from Team War again.
Gonna be a pinch from back. They clear off the spawn. Now into the hill. Maple clears off Cobra. Depa needs to go big on the inside. He was doing it yesterday. We're gonna do it again. Natix helps him out. It's gonna be 4 in a row for Depa. 3 down, 4 Team War to continue time here. For Celio Signs holding on to this lead. It's a small one, but on Bokaj, it's a lead nonetheless, Andy. And heading into this 4th hill, I mean, this is great for Celio Signs.
It is. I really was worried about them at the start of the hill. They left those gaps open down their right-hand side several times. Wasn't exploited by War. They hold on. They do a fantastic job. It's not easy to hold hills in Bokage, and they're managing to pick up some serious time in Grandma's. But as we rotate on over to Barn, it's a very one-sided attack from War, and they know exactly how they want to clear this out.
Fighting from the front, Wardy. They're going to cut off the rotations from the respawns. Nice shots from Wardy. You see a contention on the inside. It's still Depa holding things down for Celio Signs, making sure that Team War can't pick up time. Depa is a one-man army on the inside, and it takes the whole lot of Team War just to remove him from the inside of that. You can finally see a clean break of 4 down, and Team War now looking to turn this around.
Lovely stuff. Nice and clean. And the advanced pressure out as well will mean that Celio will move all the way back. But D3, they're nearly managing to sneak through. D3, by the way, Deliver. I'm not sure if he's changed his name at some point, but whatever it is, it won't matter if he's 3 and 11. Guy's getting cooked. Needs to start moving. And as we look towards P5, then it's actually Weeman. And I'm glad that we've got the viewpoint here because it's going to mean that he will stop Celio having the setup that they would have liked.
Every single time I see Depa on screen taking a gunfight, you know, it's never chalked, even if he gets tagged up first. But Team War now with a perfect pinch on the inside. Cobra, crucial kill onto Denza. It's going to keep going back and forth until a split difference in favor of Team War. They light things up. Wardy on 8 in a row. He's got full streaks, Andy, and they flip things out, or they don't flip things out. Celio Signs still in a position to hit this again. But look at player number 4, Denza. Just in the back, he's being so annoying, making sure that Celio Signs down players on this attack the whole time. Still collecting time here. Team War steady as could be. D3, the last one standing up top. Wardy's going to clean him up. 10 in a row, by the way. 17 and 7 at a big man Wardy.
This all comes back to that Weeman play. There was so much done well by Celio. They got themselves in and set up. You really can make this into it's still Bokage, but it's still a minor money hill that you can manage to make this if you play it well. But Weeman stops them ever being able to set themselves up. And as soon as that scramble happens, War take advantage, blood spilled, and we go into our rotation with a 50-point lead thereabouts for War.
Big setup right now from Celio Signs, but like you said, down a lot. You need to start collecting some time because in Bokaj, you don't want things to get out of hands. You still got Team War spawning on the better side, and I think Celio Signs, they know that they're going to turn their attention to the backside of the minimap. Slip on inside of Barn, but Denza does the exact same thing. Depa, last alive in the back. I think he might have actually pulled things around for Celio Signs. They will be able to get the flip here, Andy, and you know this is exactly what you need going into the second set of rotations. However, Maple looking to close this one out, but a heads-up play from Depa.
This is actually really good passage of play here from Celio. They've done a great job in terms of getting mixy and clearing out the gunfights, but also they still have the P2 side. Now, last time round, they had the P2 side, gave it up in the transition between 1 and 2. They need to avoid repeating that process here and make sure they lock it down early. And I'm very appreciative of D3 getting himself over by the tanks early. But as his teammates fall, and thankfully a team kill comes through, they will have the spawns, but they've got to win these gunfights.
You know, you don't usually see a lot of time picked up back in P1, but a 30-point game now going into the second rotation and already set up Celio Signs. The kills going a lot of the way of Team War, but you see with the respawns. Look at the post up Cobra. Big kill here. Wardy going to drop the glide bomb on. See if he can cut off these rotations. Wardy's going to find Natix with the hammer, and Weeman clears off the rest. It's a clean break from Team War.
Beautiful, beautiful stuff. How to clear out P2, very much so. I'm big fan of the streak usage as well. Gives so much information, gets the kill as well, and just like that, Team War are back into the 30-point lead. But it's a massive gunfight out of Cobra. Gets 2, bullies his way in through the front.
Andy, I mean, I think yesterday and today, you know, Cobra, I'm looking at him to be that player because we know what we're going to get from Depa. He's been doing the same thing all year long, but Cobra has been lights out now 5 in a row, looking to turn it into streaks. However, gets cut down by Maple before that opportunity. And Celio Signs, even though they get broken so early, they're still maintaining, what, a 20-point lead.
Yeah, keeping it close. This is what I wanted to see. I wanted to see, okay, if you do struggle to see things out a little bit, keep it tight. Keep yourself in the fight. They're doing a great job of that, and that's even with Deliver dropping 6 and 18 right now. So the other boys are really putting it on, and as you said, you highlighted Cobra 28 and 20, taking it to one of the best teams in Europe.
Right, that T3 on the inside has the lineup, but it's going to be Deppa flying across. He seems in and out. He was never there. 40s, though, going to punish from behind. Finds the break on in. Look for Deppa up top. Reads it like a book. Cobra still keeping things mixy on the inside, so no time picked up just yet. But Team War with the better respawns. They're going to be able to hop on this clock. 25 seconds to collect. 164 to 149. Celio signs they don't want to let this time go. And look at that. That is a clean break if I've ever seen one.
It is. It's beautiful, but I worry here, Seymour. So the gap that we spoke about last time out when we came into P3, down that right side, that Ward did not fully exploit. This time, Wardy finds the exact same gap and manages to pull out so many points from going the way of Celio, stops them in their tracks. Although they managed to clear it up eventually, it's just concerning that they're repeating these mistakes. We head over to Born, relatively tied game, and the gunfights here are gonna settle it as the sides just scrap over every doorway.
That even neck and neck. Denza up top, 16-25. Gonna be cut down by Cobra. That's gonna give numbers their way until 2 kills get picked up from Team War. Weeman comes in to chime with one of his own. Gonna leave last alive. Looks like D3 and Deppa just around the outside, but as they get cleared up, Team War now looking to push their lead once more. Maple on the outside, 2 in a row. Can't find a third. You see Celio signs searching on forward from the top of the mini map. They find 3 of their own, so we'll be able to hop in for the contention, but they need to find a break at some point. They don't want to allow Team War to pick up this time. It's still going to be a lot of battles before the time's going to be picked up. Wonderful 2-piece from D3. Denza looking to spoil this in last little bit of time. He's in between everybody, but still thriving. He is dancing inside of the barn.
He has, and we will again remain tied. Great little battle, this one. Great back and forth, but look at that. War already set up. You've got a player in the hill. Cobra will light up 2, and as his teammates swarm from the heavens here, he gets a 3rd, gets the 4th, and he's moving. He's done a fantastic job. Solo break in hand. War looking to answer back.
He's moving, he's grooving. On 4 in a row, looking for 5. It's going to have to be D3 to punish the rest of them. However, it gets cleaned up, and now Team War looking at what? Maybe 230 points going into the 3rd set of rotation. Celio signs they need to put their foot down soon.
We head then to our 3rd rotation. Team War just 20 points away. And I do wonder how they play this. Do they just continue to endlessly scrap over P1, or do they look to fly out for P2? Well, if all the gunfights are going your way, including team kills, maybe you can get yourself set up for P1 and just take it from here.
Why not scrap when you're bullying? It's the name of the game right now. It's their success. Inside Bokash, see Maple snaps around into the barn. Gonna be Denza to help him out. Flies from up top, and it's gonna be Wardy to clear out that last player. Denza puts the work on D3. Now Team War looking to close out this map number 1, but nobody picking up time. It's gonna be Celio signs still grasping at straws, Andy. You got 23 seconds, so you still can win it out here. But Celio signs they will have the 2nd rotation on lock, and we are gonna see a 2nd point.
Well, you could still win it here, actually. War could actually still win it here. There's some couple gunfights to go down, but actually Celio clean it off, and we will now trickle over the point where War can no longer win it, but they're in for 2. Celio with it all to do.
Really needs something big out of Natix right now. Posted up on the tanks, gonna find 1 shots on the 2nd, but Denza with the trade. You have to surge on forward here if your Celio signs. No room for mistake in Cobra. Who else but Cobra to find 2 to break back into this hill?
Cobra, moments away from dropping a 40 bomb here, Seymour. It has been absolutely phenomenal, breaking hills left, right, and center, breaking ankles all over the map. Deppa tries to fly out and clear things out. Both teams can win it here.
Oh, no.
No!
Oh, no. Oh, no. What a game, though. Oh, dude, Celio signs they had that in the bag. You saw Cobra had the information on Denza, too. And
we will get a score update, I'm sure.
I am heartbroken. I want to know who won that.
I know, because like for a second, I thought it was definitely all over. War had done it. Celio managed to barrel themselves back in, do a fantastic job, again, of breaking another hill. War must have been asking questions about how they managed to... So we just got confirmation. Oh my goodness me. Wow. 250 to 246. Celio signs take map 1. Massive comeback there towards the end. Insane stuff. Unfortunately, we miss it. Coming out on top, and I've got notes on notes here full of gaps that they were leaving. So the fact that they managed to do that, Cobra goes absolutely huge. I'm assuming he did hit the 40 bomb. Ridiculous.
Wow, and we missed it just at the end there. You saw on screen, Cobra had eyes on Denza, must have found that kill. And that rotation, that break, Maddox finding the one kill needed to allow Cobra to slip the lines. It's just the small things that add up and give Celio Signs that one break that they needed to hold things down. Is a little bit rocky throughout that bow caution. It's what you expect, a little scrappy back and forth. But here now we get to check out that scoreboard. And I mean, you can't look at the scoreboard without tipping Cobra. 40 and 33. And Andy, 29 of those kills were untraded.
Yeah, the guy was ridiculous. Every single time that it seemed like there was a setup that needed breaking, Cobra was more than happy to try and break it down, get involved in the gunfights, take them, and more than often than not, win them. However, I'm also going to tip my hat a little bit towards D3. This guy was
Okay.
like 3 and 18 at one point. Fantastic composure, does get involved with his side towards the end and puts up a good enough show. Probably the difference maker in the end, because it was a little bit too much to ask for Cobra and the rest of the guys to drag him through on that one. He really needs to pick it up, and pick it up he did.
It was really the recipe to bringing them back at the end there. D3 had so many crucial two pieces with that AR. And, I was going to say during the game, he could change his name, but you really need to change your gameplay right now because it was not the start that you're looking for if you're D3. And he makes it happen. He gets it done. And even at one point, I think we saw him on that six spree really making sure that Celio Signs, they had the backline on lock, and he was always disrupting the respawns for Team War.
Yeah, I think one of the things as well is that the SMG presence that this side have is always going to be really good. But the one thing that I was kind of worried about coming into this series is the AR presence, which is where we're going to get on to deliver. Because yesterday, for example, the map where they were absolutely smoked in Hardpoint was Gavutu. So clearly they lack a little bit of something when it comes to those AR engagements, those AR presence in battles. I don't know what the map later on in the series is going to be if we get to it for the Hardpoint, but if we're talking
Gonna be a
another
Tuscan.
AR dominant map, okay, so Tuscan, so a bit of a mixed bag, but I really felt like I needed to see the AR presence on this side step up. Starts off slow, you know as much as I do how much your composure can really be eaten away at. Does a good job to manage to bring it back.
Well, especially at the start where we see Wardy went he was 17 and 7 at one point with that AR. So
Yeah.
when Wardy's putting up numbers like that with an AR, it's hard to match up like that if you're D3. But eventually you saw Wardy slow down, and that was giving D3 a lot of momentum to just climb back into the game slowly but surely. And it's what you need to get things done. And we haven't even talked about the map. So we talked about that Tuscan for the second hard point. But coming up next is going to be a Bokar Search and Destroy. Then after that, 3 Tuscans in a row. So a control, a hard point, and a search and destroy if this all goes the distance. Not a lot of variety between this, but I'm liking this map pool when it does, reflect on a Celio Signs team that really could make a statement against Team War. You're looking to not go to those AR dominant maps, and I think Tuscan and Bokars are exactly what you need.
Yeah, so looking back over what these teams have played so far throughout this elite, I do feel that the only way in which there's a benefit here is going to be the Tuscan hardpoint being something that team would love to play. They're 2-0 in it right now. They're looking real good on it, feeling real good on it. So that for me leans one way, and if Celio go into that, they might well be a step too far. But the other map's very much so up for grabs right now. We haven't seen too much of it around from either team, so very much so up in the air. So opportunity here for Celio to really do something. We've spoken in the back room about how impressive they have looked at times, how they are punching very much so above perhaps
They are.
expectations. There was a lot of things that they didn't do particularly well throughout that bow cage. They still come out on top against Team War. So many things that they're doing right, including the hard bit, which is bring the gunny, apparently.
Well, we're putting a lot of focus on Celio Signs right now. We have to talk a little bit about Team War and how heartbreaking that must be to lose that boat Kosh after you're doing so many things right. But just in the end, the last little bit that matters, that last break in the rotation doesn't go your way, and you lose out on the whole map. And I mean, heading into that map number 2, you must feel just absolutely heartbroken and distraught. And going into this Bokaj, really, you just need a mental reset coming out of Team War because you don't want to go in with a heavy heart after that Bokaj loss. You guys played great, and inside of Bokaj Search to Destroy, I think both of these teams have had relative success throughout the stage so far inside Search and Destroy. So this isn't necessarily out of the books just yet. I mean, even Team War yesterday, they played a Bokaj Search and Destroy enigma against Rocker Academy. They took it 6-2. So this team is looking to bounce back in the second map.
Yeah, apologies. They also played a bow cage against Dizzy, so I actually got that slightly wrong. But so yeah, they're looking good on the bow cage S&D. We'll see how they bring it out here as we get started off and away. Would fully expect Team War to have the composure to bounce back in this, though. There's a long series yet to come.
Then you see a nade over the edge for D3. Maple avoiding him right now. Did get tagged up, so they know that there's a player occupying A site for now. We won't be able to tell what's going to be going on through the minimap, as it is, as player requests, going to be blocked. But D3 going to be stretching this bomb plant. Denza, don't think he heard this, and Maple has no eyes, so the bomb will get planted. 4-on-4. Still no first blood. You're giving up a lot right now if you're Team War.
You're very surprised. If anything, the fact that this has managed to go down extremely uncontested. Depper will open things up. So Team War, 30 seconds, 3v4 to clutch.
Depper second. Already getting through, but Tensa's gonna stick this. Nobody checks it. Oh my word. Okay, D3 is gonna get eyes on. Last little bit of seconds, and Wardy now in a 1v3. A lot of work to go through with 20 seconds left. It just doesn't seem feasibly possible, and Depo is gonna find that cleanup. But man, oh man, Tensa was inches away from closing that out.
Yeah, very, very much so. Nearly there. Very, very much so. Nearly an upset. Celio do a great job. They managed to get things down, get the bomb down without. Honestly, I'm not even sure how many players saw each other at that point. Really good job to get it down. And then the setup looked good. If Denza had managed to just sneak on and defuse the bomb, that would have been heartbreaking for them. Open it up well. Team War with an opportunity to dictate where they want the bomb to go. We won't get to see everything. As you said, that minimap is covered. But on our screens, Depper started off hot.
3 in a row. Cobra with a sniper. Okay, this is something we didn't get to see in the first round, but spots out Wee-Man in the back, but I'm sure Wee-Man sees him too. Follow will be there after seeing the glint of the sniper that Team War probably wants to take their sights over to A.
Much more patient opening from War. Taking their time. They want this opening pick. They don't want to mess around. Wee-Man's got to be careful, though. He knows there's a sniper lurking around somewhere. Doesn't want to be staring down too many straight lanes, Automaton buffed or not.
30 shots of pure carnage with this gun. But it's going to be Depa creeping in a corner to find that first blood, evenly traded out by Wardy right away. Going to recover that bomb, look to get it planted immediately. Nobody on the flank here from Celio Signs. Going to be head-on collision with Nadix and Wardy traded out from Wee-Man 2v2. E3 next up to the block. You're going to expect player right on the right. Expects Wee-Man up top, but going to lose that gunfight. Cobra now in a 1v2, and Maple, who is hiding away, is going to peek on out and close this down.
Huge presence there from Wee-Man up in the top of the barn. It looks over the bomb, deals with Nadix, puts a lot of damage into players, and leaves an easy 1v1 for Maple to clean up. I actually was disappointed a little bit with Celio there. They managed to have a 3-2 advantage. And although, yes, the bomb is down, you don't need to rush it. You can bait players out. You can move them around a little bit. I was a little bit, not worried, but just concerned about the fact that they've rushed straight towards the bomb rather than trying to play separate angles. I'd love to see them get a bit more creative on those retakes.
Maybe it works, barring Wee-Man having 2 amazing kills on that balcony, but really stepping
you're
up.
playing the best teams in Europe at this point, Seymour. You got to be expecting it.
Yeah, that whole situation just has to be expected. You're right. In total, but Nadix, he has the information. Players going to be back there. Nade not going to be on point, but Wee-Man will get collapsed on over towards that small shed. Nadix now on the run, 50 HP. We're going to transition over there. Wonderful kill out of D3. That's going to completely open this up for a plant. Maple through the tunnel, potentially in a position where he can shut this down. Going to find the bomb planter. And Stenza last alive, finds a second on the D3, but there's just too much work to be done and too many Celio Signs players to get through.
Yeah, and the fact that Nadix managed to get away from that situation, huge. Like, he was very much so in a world of trouble. You see him here actually picking up the final kill. He was in so much trouble over by tanks, had 2 players swarming him. Not only did they have to spend all of that time trying to locate him, but because of the fact he gets out alive as well, that numbers advantage persists for Celio that wouldn't have been there initially. And that 2-piece from Denza would have been far more effective in that scenario. Great stuff out of Celio. They're looking comfortable. Remember, this is Team War's map. A loss here would be a bit of a worry.
Definitely haven't found their footing after that loss in map 1 just yet, but it hasn't been the worst. Just very scrappy as expected on Bokaj, as you can see that bomb lingering through the middle of the map. Denza going to be the carrier inside barn, but a split 2-2 on the offense here, and D3 is going to get some eyes on the player in the back. Not sure who that was, but alongside Dedza, they're looking to siege out this A side, see if they can fish for a pick, and by that, get that bomb down.
This is the bit that some players love this, where you play it slow, and okay, apparently
Wonderful.
Maple loves this because he just lines up D3 and removes his face. Fantastic stuff. Bomb in hand. Denza wants to get it over towards B.
Yeah, but it forces Cobra to think he has to make a play, and Wardy hiding in a corner, just going to catch him looking the wrong way, a little bit too over-aggressive, and now the full setup of Team War looking to collapse on down on one last player, Depa. The 4v1 with that bomb down. It's time in the hands of Team War. Won't be flawless as Weeman will be cut down, but now the information is going to be there on Depa, spotted out through the middle of the map. Maple is going to get shots on 54 HP, and there's a crossfire that he's going to walk into. And Team War, they fire back with a round to tie us back up 2-2.
All 4 attack rounds going the way of the attacking team. All 4 rounds going the way of the attacking team. My apologies. But yeah, no, but I guess the thing is, for now, who can figure out the defense? Who can figure out a solid enough setup? At the minute, the bomb seems to be more heading that A side or lingering around the mid map. If there's going to be any B involvement, it seems to come late. But do we see a team switch that up? And as we get our live looking at the Invincibles and Nixa game, looks like the Invincibles 1-0 up and possibly here about to go up 2.
They are in a 3v2 situation, but look at this aggression on screen from Celio Signs. They just run it right down to A. It's a 2-2 trade, and realistically, not finding an opening over to A, just kind of playing coy, see if they can get that bomb down at B. And I don't know if Maple saw this or not, but soon enough, he will find out. Beautiful kill into D3 now. Depa, 1v2 situation, trace it out. 1v1, Wardy, right around the corner on the hunt. He knows Depa's going to be there. He's prone, but he didn't see him. 32 seconds left. Depa just waiting, biding his time. He's going to make the move right out of the corner. Wardy with his pants down. He's not ready. That's going to be a beautiful round at a Depa 1v2.
I did ask who was going to change things up, who was going to take that bomb over towards B. Apparently, Celio not only feeling good in taking on War, but more than happy, more than confident enough to mix things up, bring out some strategies. Bomb goes down, they clear it out. Wardy is going to watch that one back with gritted teeth. We get to see it, obviously, because of the X-ray, the bright yellow line around him, but Wardy clearly missed something in the shadows there.
Just paying attention to the wrong parts of your screen, and you miss out on the smallest pixel. It's going to cost you there. Look again, Depa just getting aggressive right through the middle of the map with an automaton, to say the least. He's going to rip Wardy a new one with a beautiful first blood, getting out with his life above all. And look at what it forces out. Now Natix in a position where you could get so much map control over towards that B river.
Yeah, you highlighted it perfectly there. And Natix is now going to wrap that entire side of the map. So they basically know the 50% that War are going to be sat in. Depa's advanced up through mid as well. Natix is now going to put that position to effect and catch Weeman. Denza lasts alive. We've seen it before, but good luck, son.
Yeah, good luck in a 1v4. Now a 1v3. Shots onto D3, but can't finish the job. Celio Signs are playing wonderful on Bokosh as you get to look at a live look in over at Invincibles versus Nixa in a round 11 on Tuscan. But I mean, both Search and Destroys have been fantastic here. I mean, Celio Signs, they are playing next level right now on Bokosh.
They are, and I spoke a moment ago about changing things up, about how confident Celio looked. You see that aggressive hit through mid from Depa, and then Natix immediately acts on that by getting himself pushed up through river. A lot of teams won't take advantage of that.
But trade out from Weeman now. The post plan will be set up from Celio Signs, but what can Team War do? They don't expect Depa to be hiding around the corner. Slides on out for a second one. Now left alone is going to be Maple in a 1v1, but 24 seconds to make this happen, and Natix playing right on the high ground, waiting, nice as ever, to put Celio Signs up on map point.
Just looking, it's hard to say what they're doing wrong, if anything. They just look great across the entire map. Again, they go with a quick gamble, a quick B plan. Not necessarily a nice place to try and get the bomb down. And if you do get it down there, you need to get yourself set up and out. And apparently not, because they're just happy to take the gunfights. Depa, 10-5. If Cobra isn't picking it up, Depa's more than happy to.
Right now, Andy, no room for mistake from Team War. As it's going to have to be 3 rounds in a row just to tie it up, but 4 rounds in a row. Take the map win. Depa's going to spot some action over towards A. D3 looking to get aggressive. Rips Sweetman's head off the head glitch. And immediately, Celio Signs, they give up the A site, but that's okay because they have a player advantage.
We're getting the bomb down here so imperatively important, and the grenade will actually force Depper to back off as well. That will provide information. We don't have the minimap available to us, but I was wondering, we do have a wrap D3
D3.
in a huge position.
If Mayful doesn't get ready for this, he's going to be caught looking the wrong way. Mayful, oh my word, D3, you got to finish your food. Luckily, his teammates are firing on all cylinders because they're going to fire up 2 of their own. 3v1, Denza last alive. Deppa's going to spot him out, calls for Cobra to fly in. What a map at a Celio signs. They made Team War eat right out of the palm of their hands.
That opening gunfight in the back end, in the opening stage of that round, it just in those gunfights going your way, it gives you belief, but we'll get back to that later. We've got another round 11 here, Seymour. Dizzy's Rascals and Rocker Academy. Dizzy's Rascals as well, taking the first map.
Why EU Challengers sometimes feels so elite, so teams just so even. Every roster, and Lucky's going to fire off with the first blood on a BB Connor, forcing Dizzy's Rascals now to pull off some attention from one side. You see Rocker Academy, they're hoping for that. They just want to take this 3v1 or 4v1 against Henry over towards A.
Yeah, they've called this perfectly. Whoever shot called it is now going to be barreling in, but you can see that the attention's been changed. Whaler's trying to collapse in now through mid. We'll have a huge position in that mid map. Henry, they don't spot him and he gets the first.
Well, Henry needs to find a little bit more, but already a job well done, Real. For the trade, Whalers now in behind. He's going to cut off Lucky, and shots on the medals as well. Dizzy here to shut the door. Going to get eyes on, shots on as well into Real, but ultimately playing his life. Real now in a 1v2. Looks like he wants to get this bomb down with 14 seconds left. No idea where Whalers is on the backside, but Dizzy fully giving up that courtyard. Gets eyes on Real, and Dizzy's going to close this one off. Round 11. The way of Dizzy's Rascals now up 2-0 over a Rocker Academy. Who would have guessed?
I mean, the composure. Henry does a fantastic job of just ducking down behind that desk, springing up when he's needed, and getting the first kill. That delays the bomb plant, puts Rocker Academy essentially into a scramble, and I called it. Whalers collapsing in through the middle. He was so quick to transition. There's nothing here. We need to rotate immediately, and that mid-map position that he gets a hold of gives him 2 kills, changes that entire round around. Lovely stuff. I mean, upsets on upsets at the minute, Seymour. We're in for a wild ride.
No, I haven't heard too much about Dizzy in general, but the whole team seems to reside around him, Dizzy's Rascals. But, that is another team, just like Celio Signs, who have a lot of underrated players, in my opinion.
Yeah.
BB Connor and Whalers both, even Henry at times.
Yeah.
They are some really strong EU players who I don't think get enough love.
No, I agree. I think that as well, you look back at some of them, like BB Connor at the start of Cold War was ridiculously good. The rest of the year didn't necessarily go his way, but very much so a hidden gem, one that I think could very much so be nurtured into a diamond. You've then got Whalers, who has had a ridiculously actually good career. If you go and look back, he's had some insane moments throughout it. Brings that veterancy, potentially brings that leadership as well. Makes a massive play there towards the end to give his team the round against Rocker Academy. Go 2-0 up. So, I mean, yeah, you're right. This is definitely an underestimated side. These top teams are finding out just how much so.
I can't remember. Every single time I think of Whalers, for some reason, I'm always thinking of World War II, USS Texas, and Whalers with the sniper was next level on that map. I don't know why that is etched into my brain, but it is what I always remember when I think of Whalers. And you're right. He's had a fantastic career in Challengers, in the CWL, and beyond. But right now, 2-0 up against Rocker Academy, and that is not something you would expect if you've been following EU Challengers since the start of Vanguard, because Rocker Academy, they have been the cream of the crop so far, and this change with Sukri hasn't helped.
Yeah, no, not so far. I am surprised that was the move that was made. Not that Sukri isn't a good player. Of course, he's fantastic. But I thought it was going to be super in. Journey ends up being the one bowed out this time. Last year, this is very much so a script from last year. I forget the name that they were going by last year. The Rams, potentially, at that point. They made the change. Very similar. Brought in Super that time instead. And it just didn't work out. Like, it just didn't fix the problems. They started the year so well, eventually fell off, and it just didn't fix anything. And it looks like we might well be seeing that script again. Don't get me wrong, we've still got quite a bit of time here, but I mean, yesterday they pick up a 1-1 record, losing to War in a relatively convincing 3-0, beating Invincibles, but they'll be disappointed by the fact that they were so sideswept by Team War. Definitely, definitely not been good for them. Speaking of Team War, in front of us right now, we do have
You're
the
right.
scoreboard from Team War Celio Science.
Well, immediately you're looking at Depot as well. Through that search and destroy was fantastic. 10 and 5 to close it out. 6 untraded kills, but 1,200 damage. Those are crazy numbers inside of that Bocage. What you need out of a submachine gun player. You got that from Cobra in the hardpoint, and Cobra takes a back seat. Well, not too far of a back seat, but Depa hops right into the driver's seat and he takes off inside of the second map. And it's really keeping steady what I was expecting from Celio Signs. You know, they've looked very strong inside of search and destroy. Yes, Team War, they had a fantastic record on Bokosh from yesterday, but I mean, Celio Signs, they're not a team to overlook inside of search and destroy either, with wins against Dos Tontos yesterday and Berlin as well as Tuscan, only giving up 5 rounds between the two.
Yeah, I think, again, I was so impressed by how creative they were, how confident they were, how happy they were to change things up and just make Team War question everything. However, one thing Team War won't be questioning right now is the progress that's been made in this control, because they have come out with a vengeance. Weeman 7-3, Wardy 6-1, bullying Celio back to the B point.
This is what you want if you're a War fan right now. You need them to step up at some point, and right now in reverse sweep territory. It's now or never. Maple, Wardy open things up on the back line. 3 go down. Depa suddenly last alive here, and he gets cleaned up. It's a clean break right onto the B zone as A's already gone. So all eyes going to be here for the last one. Weeman still tearing things apart. It's going to be 3-on-3. Here comes the players of Celio Sign. Slide on in, but they slide right into their grave. What a play at a Team War. This is fantastic.
Yeah, this is an absolute run over. We've only getting to catch the back end of this, really, but essentially no respawns remaining for Celio. They'll lose a player right there. They will clear it off just momentarily, but Team War can throw everything at this. They can bring absolutely everything to the remaining gunfights here because they have such a heavy advantage to see this one out.
13v3. I mean, this is just TDM at some point. If you're Celio Signs,
50 seconds, too.
This would be a breakdown and a half if I see them lose this round. So hopping onto the B zone, stops the clock. Denza makes it a 13v2. All of a sudden, it's T3 last alive, and he gets cleaned up. So a fantastic round out of Team War to open up this Tuscan, and winning out on offense so early. Celio Science, now they need to do the exact same thing, or else they're going to be giving up this map.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the one thing, again, with Celio, they were very creative when we came to the S&D. So let's see if they do that here. Or do they bring that out at some point? They've got to answer back, though, because that was a very poor defensive attempt. We've seen Depa and Cobra really slay out in this series. They're going to need to bring it again.
Well, I think if there's one thing to highlight right now in Team War and a keys to victory for the respawns, it's shutting down Cobra. And 3 and 6, they did exactly that. Back in round number 1, looking to keep this one going. Depo, what a win onto Wardy. That's going to pull some attention from Team War over, or it would, unless he gets cut down from Weeman, who's posted up into the back. Now, the rest of Celio Signs off the respawn. They're going to hop onto A, look to stack this one out. It's another player down, Maple, cut down in the middle of the map. As you can see, 2 players overextending over towards P5 in this A zone. It is going fast.
It is. I think here Team War have actually got overextended a little bit too late. It will give them the mid-map pressure, but the problem that they have at the minute is if Celio change direction, simply hits it through ruins, they might be lacking reinforcements. The gunfights are going their way, so that's enough. Wardy flying out mid-map will be cut down. And as we essentially reset the board here, as we start to see these setups come through, it's going to be even keel, 155 to go.
Yeah, Team War opt to give up A zone and turn wanting map control. But that map control, it gets ripped out right from under them. And now Celio Signs looking to pressure out over towards B. D3 a kill into Weeman inside radio. And look at this play out of Team War. They look to close the door in the back with a flank through well, but Depa rings off too. 2 close off on that potential. Now flying on through, it's going to be 2 players to rush out and overwhelm Maple. Cut down though from the remainder as Team War, they weather the pressure.
They do. Check the first box. You will have a couple more that will come your way yet. You've still got a while to go because the first take was so clean from Celio's Signs. But as it is, they're very much so advanced out. They're very much so pushed forward. That kill will, again, just not allow Celio really to build themselves the positions that they want to be in. 2 big kills, though, will answer back. But it's not clean. You need the first wave. You essentially need 2 whole waves across the map that are clean to set you up in the position at the minute because Team War are just doing a great defensive hold.
Well, just being so good at being annoying on the map, and those clean breaks just can't happen because constantly you see players from Team War overextending in some very awkward positions, and Celio Sign's just not ready for it. You got last opportunity here for D3 really in the back, but beating the likes of Maple going to be cut down inside of Church, and Enza posted up, going to get eyes on the remainders here. Wardy to follow in suit. It's a nice 1-2 punch to take down Natix. Slides on out for another one, but Cobra will have his number this time around. Cobra's going to find two. Hoping to get things going now for Celio Signs. Last chance to break into this B zone. 4 lives remaining as they need something huge once more to take this second round here. 15 seconds left. 4 lives in the hands of Celio Signs. It's so far so good, but it has to be clean. And so far it has been.
Those are a huge couple of kills. They will dive this point. The problem is we don't have trophies in this game, so expect grenades to come flying in. 3v7, everything to do.
Everything to do when you lose out on Depa. 2v6. Weeman leaving Natix last alive now. Has to make a play. Slides out to Weeman, but right into a crossfire. And 2 very dominant rounds out of Team War. A little bit of a slip up towards the end, but they get the job done. If your Celio Signs looking for a bright side from that second round, you find 4 ticks inside of that round number 2. So Team War will be up 6-4 right now inside a tick progression. Celio Signs, it needs to be a convincing defense followed by a dominant offense.
Yeah, they have to answer back something crucial because, as I said, the map after this, when we start getting to Tuscan Hardpoint, which is, I believe, the next map, we then enter very much so Team War territory. They love the Hardpoint there. They love to make it happen. If you go 2-0 up in a series, it starts to become 2-2. The knees are shaking. The trigger finger's a little bit more itchy. It's very, very difficult. So Celio don't want to let this completely run away from them. Team War going to open it up well. Bully back A, but look who's all the way through the back of B.
Oh, man. Going to be Wardy. He finds D3 as well in that position, so forcing Celio Signs now to pour their attention on Denza from around the back, slaying on through, finds 2. Going to really leave Wardy now in a position where he can just soak up this progression on B. 1 tick will be cemented on in, and you can see already Maple in a position where he just wants to slay this one out. He's going to find a second. Wardy on 3 in a row. Back into the zone, stopping the clock at 47 seconds. No longer the case, as he will be cut down over towards that B zone. And Team War now with 40 seconds left. I mean, there's no opportunity to go over to B. You really need a pinch play here off of Denza. I think D3 saw him. But D3 knows he's going to be here. Denza finds a kill onto Depa, allows his teammates into the A zone, but he is going to lose his life.
Yeah, Denza actually goes huge there because he was spotted by D3 very, very early, and he basically just played an evasive game, managed to stay alive for a long time, set up that pinch, clear out A, and allow his teammates on. Because as much as I massively respect the B push, and I do, you do only have 30 seconds to go at this point. You need to make sure that that zone comes in, not be too over ambitious, and they are on both points, and they're moving fast.
They're working both zones at the moment. Copra and Natix finally going to clear off B. Denza still alive in the spawn, and while this is happening, Maple is okay to just post up, kick up his feet, and clear this A zone with ease. 29 seconds, but it's about to be mounted into a whole minute more. Celio Signs always at a life disadvantage. They are being bullied in map 3.
Yeah, they're being a little bit run over here. It's becoming a little bit too lopsided. 15-2. Celio Signs 15-1. Best of luck. Not gonna happen. Team War make a statement, a reminder of the quality that they possess. And the problem again here for Celio Signs, as good as they've been, we now enter Team War territory. We enter a Tuscan Hardpoint where they've looked untouchable so far. Celio really do not want to let that kind of momentum build. We're in reverse sweep territory here, Seymour.
I feel like in round number 1, I saw a 17-5 life lead in favor of Team War. Round number 2, I saw a 12-4 life lead in favor of Team War. And then round 3, you saw right there, another 17-5 life lead, just showing how dominant they were in the slaying. Now, looking at the numbers, yes, you can focus on kills for Team War, but look at their deaths. The amount of damage they were able to mitigate from themselves and just make sure that they were never giving up their lives to Celio Signs. I mean, that was a masterclass of control.
Yeah, I mean, Wardy's 21 of his 23 are untraded. He's just going around cleaning things up willy-nilly, happily by himself. And it's just a run over. It's a complete and utter smoking. There is no other way to really put this. We can sit here and analyze and talk about it all day, and we'll do our best, of course. But at the end of the day, the gunfire was all one way. Team War delivering a hammer blow to Celio. And that will no doubt go into the Celio mindset. Okay, we've just
Okay.
been absolutely obliterated. We know that this next map is one that they like to play on. We can't let this happen. They've got an opportunity here to make a storyline, to very much so write a script that was not there to be wrote. Team War, we're never going to go away quietly, Seymour. Not a team of this quality.
Oh, and you and I both knew that was going to happen, folks. We're not done with Tuscans just yet. We got a hard point coming up next between those two teams. We're going to get things set up, get the players lobbied up, and get things going. And while it happens, take a little bit of a break. So go grab some water, grab some snacks and challengers. We'll be right back. Folks, welcome back to the Challenger Elite Season 3, where we're looking at Celio Signs versus Team War. My name is Seymour. Alongside me is Enigma and Andy. I mean, Celio Signs, they came out with fire, but that map 3, Team War gave them a schmacking.
Yeah, they did. Slapped them back down, sent them straight down to earth, and reminded them we are one of the best teams in Europe. You have it all to prove. But that being said, the 2-1 lead does still prevail, and the numbers don't lie to you, ladies and gentlemen. Celio have been very good value for it. This has not been a fluke. This has not been upset by any sort of imagination. They've been really, really good. And the one thing that we were kind of discussing there in the break, Seymour, and the one thing that they very much are going to need to continue to do in the respawns is shut down Cobra. 40 bomb that he dropped in Bow Cage was a huge part of why they managed to take that map. He was very much so the guy flying in the front of hills, breaking setups, and more holding down again.
It hasn't been too bad so far. 2-1 to open this one up, and Maddox slips the lines inside a church, looking to flip this out. And Celio Signs, you know, they give up majority time over in P1, but they're going to have to set up over in P2. Looking to rotate and set up perfectly. As you see Depa close enough the rotations. It's 3 clean kills. Only player left to the back is going to be Maple, and I'm pretty sure they know he's there. As Rocker Academy, they force a map 4 in that live looking at it now. Reverse sweep Dizzy's Rascals, but we'll get to that later. As Team War right now in the break, Maple's going to surge on forward, finds Cobra and cleans him up, and you see Wardy on the opposite side doing the exact same. Wardy's going to find D3, leaving Depa last alive. As Celio Signs, they get broken so early, just like the signs that we saw in Bokash.
Huge gunfight, by the way, there out of Depa. Maple was on a 6-0. One more for the glide. It's a huge 1v1. Depa manages to see it out. But it's not all good news. Celio did indeed give up a lot of ones, get rotated in for 2. Maple stayed alive a long time in the back, and it meant that Celio could never get that perfect hold together. So Team War just barreling straight through, take it off of their hands. We're looking to 3 now, and you feel that this top fire tile side is going to be where War are going to send it.
Look at Denza leading the charge in the back. Wee Man cut down up top. Maple for the trade. Things are even here in a 3-on-3, but Maple still tearing things up over towards Burning. Now 2 players going to be there. Maple finds all 4. 13-2 from Maple, by the way. I didn't see who's putting up those numbers, but single-handedly crippling Celio Signs inside of this Fountain Hill. They will be able to battle back in, but Maple is on a tear right now.
Yeah, absolutely. You don't always think of Maple as the straight slayer. Don't get me wrong, ridiculously talented player, but much more of your consistent, reliable, smart individual AR. Apparently 14-4. He just wants to do it all in this one. Getting his team in again, managing to pick up some huge gunfights, including off of the God Heady. And just like that, a lot of damage averted here. Team War looking real good. Celio will be set up, but at the minute, with how often these setups are being broken back and forth, I don't expect Celio to maintain church possession for very long.
They need this map control, which they're looking to pick up. It's a trade out of Cobra. It was supposed to be a trade out of Cobra. Wee Man decided otherwise. As now looking to flip out these spawns in the back. Cobra shuts him down. All eyes are going to be on the north side in the front of the hill now. Looking to break in. It's going to be Team War. Wardy goes in, finds a kill on the Natix. Depa looking to hold things down by himself. Wardy cleans him up from behind. 3 quick kills out of Team War for the break. They have the better spawns. They find the break early. Celio Signs just can't hold on to a hill so far in Tuscan. And that is going to be holding this lead for Team War now up by 50. Wardy's going to slide on down. 5 in a row for himself. Looks over towards that doorway. He's not going to find it. Oh, Wardy! Give Depa the work. 6 in a row now. Looking for this glide bomb. He is on one. Team War, they just look like they hit a new level after that 3rd map. And Wardy does find those shrieks, so they have a glide bomb to work with.
Sometimes you come into a series when you're the favored side and you're a little bit slow off the mark. You can perhaps underestimate your opponents. You can perhaps come out of things a little bit forgiving, but not anymore. Team War have stepped it up. Well and truly going for it. You're seeing the kind of gun skill that's coming out. And if you want to figure out how to break a P4 setup, by the way, on this map, go and clip that back. Perfect swarm from Team War coming from all the doors and take it from Celio. We're scrapping over P5, and this one, Seymour, just turns into a nightmare.
Nightmare for Celio Signs, just because this time keeps on taking the way of Team War. Denza on the outside. He's going to find one, slides back in to clean up Depa on the staircase. Depa's still alive, but not for long. Into the hill, it's going to be Cobra, the hero that you need. Cobra lines up 2 for the break right from the front of the hill, giving Celio Signs a little bit of pressure now to breathe. 88 to 130 going into the second set of rotations.
Yeah, Cobra there. Definitely the hero you need if you're Celio Science, but not the hero you deserve if you're Nadix or D3, who are currently swinging very far away from even when it comes to the kill-death department. Need to step things up if they're going to handle things here. The glide bomb comes in, and Wardy here will definitely pick up at least one kill. That will shift the whole Celio side around. But they maintain possession for now.
Oh, for now, Wee Man, big kill into Cobra. Things are even inside the hill. Wardy on the long flank all the way around Church. You can see Team Wars collapsing on the positions of these Celio Signs players. Zeppo will be able to catch Wardy. The information will be there. So Celio Signs still holding on to things in this first round. And, I mean, you called it out. We saw in Bokaj, Celio Signs, they were able to maintain pressure with D3 underperforming. But how are they going to perform when it's both D3 and Nadix? And, well, Nadix has been able to pull things back into the second hill. But you have to be thinking, in the second set of rotations, you really need him to continue this performance. That's 6 in a row.
Yeah, I know. It's a big hill actually out of Celio. Then they will have P2 side set up as well. And there's no Maple to cause them a problem in the backline this time. The fact that Nadix is so far pushed up, he probably needs to just get off that hill and rotate in with his teammates. Opportunity here for Celio. They've taken a lead. They could really roll away here.
Not only that, I mean, a little live look in. And then Nixa, an opportunity for them to close out the series at 4 against Invincibles, who haven't been having the best elite stage so far. So keep eyes on that and what we're going to be getting through the end, because Invincibles backed against the ropes. How much bite do they have? And how invincible are they really? As you look at Celio Signs into this, have been able to flip the lead. Now 156 and counting. Cleaned up in the back is going to be Wardy. And just look at Team War. They haven't been able to get anything going. Another player gets cut down, and Nade will be able to remove Cobra from the inside of the hill, but how long can you stay alive here if you're Wee Man? It seems like it's long enough to allow Maple to get into the fray. He's going to slide on out with the help of Denza to break back into the hill for the last 16 seconds, and Denza, 2 kills to hold on to the scrap time for a little bit.
Yeah, Denza's not having himself a map, really. Not particularly... Okay, then! But not particularly having himself a series, but when you're one of the best players in Europe, you can bring that out your pocket every now and again. But the fact that he's there, the pressure that he puts on Celio, means that his teammates have so much advanced pressure set up for a money hill as it is. All the work that Celio have done could be undone right now, because Team War have a ridiculously good place to put themselves in here for our P3. And Denza's gone for a swim. Where did
Wardy. It's rude. Where did he fall off the map? I'm trying to look at where that happened, but it's not what you need right now in the position that you're at. And you can see that Team War will manage to break this hill. Set up for the last 30 seconds, but Celio Signs, they want to take another swing at this one. And look at that, gatekeeping this hill. Team War cut down 2 crucial kills and holding off for the last 20 seconds. Depa looking to make some noise, but I mean, Team War have done a number into this hill number 3, and they've brought this back and flipped the lead. Now looking to hold off the rest of the time as they clear off the rest of the reigning Celio players.
Yeah, and the problem here for Celio is they're not aware that Maple has slipped the net. He's in round the back. He'll get 1 kill. Everyone will now know he's there. And the Nadix apparently doesn't know he's there. What on God's green earth was that? Maple gets it cleaned up. And the problem Celio have here is even if they do get a hold of it, Team War love retaking this hill. They come in from every single doorway all at the same time and rip it straight out of your hands. So Celio here, they're in possession, but I don't know for how long.
I'm convinced they love retaking every hill at this point. Wee Man on screen, 5 in a row. 14 in hand, gets the shots on D3. Wraps around the whole outside, but right now chasing a ghost at the moment. And Wee Man is doing circles right now around the hill. I'm surprised he's alive. 28 HP, managed to shut down Nadix as well. 6 in a row from Wee Man. And Team War, they break back in. 192, they hold their lead. And I don't know how Wee Man's still alive, but you know what? He's just making it happen now. Let's see if he can get the glide bomb through the door. He's going to lock it down. Nadix to answer the call. And Team War, man, they are just unstoppable inside of this Tuscan.
They just love that hill. They love it. And stuff like that is a perfect example. Why? Because Wee Man just pokes and probes at the defense of that church. Manages to just keep moving them around, keep rotating them, never let them be fully set up, stays alive. And then as his teammates arrive, he spins, wins a gunfight, and it's all done and dusted, ladies and gentlemen. This can be seen off here. I'd be very surprised because this is a ridiculously scrappy hill. But make no mistake about it, War on the very edge of taking this to game 5.
I feel like that's always the case with the Vanguard. It can happen, but let's see if they get it done. Denza, 6 in a row, 7 in a row. Denza holding things still with the pistol. The rat. Denza now 9 in a row from himself, looking to close the door on this Tuscan. Send this to a map number 5, and Denza is on a tear. You critique him a little bit, Enigma, and he says, here, let me step up to the plate. 9 in a row, 10 in a row, 11 in a row. Denza, another one, bites the dust. 12 in a row from Denza. And that's going to be Team War sailing into a map 5.
Okie dokie then. Apparently, I need to criticize Denzer a hell of a lot more because he had really not had a map and really not had a good series. And all of a sudden, rocks up with that at the end, 12 piece to get things going, to win it on the P5. Doesn't even need the rotation. This is disgusting. There's another one after that, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. If you happen to miss it, my God, what an end to a map. We're going to rotate in over to our Nixa via Invincibles game. Invincibles took map 1, lost the search in round 11. Apparently, we're smoked in the control. We're very much so neck and neck in this one.
Are putting their game on the map right now against a very, very strong group of EU players. And Nolson's having a map too. You know, ever since Nolson came back to competitive play inside of Vanguard, he has been, you know, a talking point of EU challengers. He is not having a bad map whatsoever, 22 and 18, but Invincibles down and behind at the moment. They need to get something going here. They have to set up to P3, and you know that this can get a little one-sided.
They do have the setup to P3. The problem is they don't have an AR in the God-heady position. It was Nolson, and Runner's just going to win 2 huge gunfights, and Johnny W will rip Nolson out. Grad left alive.
Big 3 down. Mitigating the damage that Invincibles can do into the hill is going to be Snake, but 3 go the way of Invincibles. They're able to break back in for these 30 seconds, neck and neck inside of the Tuscan. Beautiful nade out of Runner, and a team kill out of Nile is going to really lessen the numbers of Invincibles into the hill. You need your AR to go big. Racky only good for 1. Nile gets cut down, and Nixa x ACCL looking to hold their lead going into P4.
Huge hill out of Runner. Gets 2 to break things open initially. Gets a couple of kills there towards the end to maintain some points. It's very much so damage averted out of Nixa. We rotate then over to Church, and the problem that Nixa have is Invincibles have got one through the back. Nile waiting.
Crafty cut them down, but you're right, Nile in the back here has a lot of work to do. Snake completely flips this one out, looking to make things interesting over towards the north side of Church. Sean breaking in for the front. This is neck and neck. Only a 9-point game at the moment inside of Church. Rafi is going to get some information from the player on the outside. Calling for some help. It's going to be Nolson to call. Goes 1 for 1 on that one. Next, ex-ACCL still haven't been able to break this hill. And while this is happening, Invincible's just counting up the time right now. They can't win here, but they can get close, Andy. And if you're Nixa ex-ACCL, you need a break, and there it is.
Yeah, Johnny W managing to sneak in up through the T and gets himself in, wins a big important gunfight. Now it's just back and forth between everyone. Pinstripe indeed. And the thing is, as Invincibles manage to get themselves into that bit of scrap time, we'll put them within touching distance so that they're in a point where even though P5 scrappy, they can very much so get 20 points on that one. Nixa, all to do. Looking like a map 5 right now, Colin.
Like a map 5 for sure. Just one more break needed. JW is going to cut down Grad, traded out by Runner. JW doesn't want to let it go just yet. We're going to hold things out in the contention. Finally cut down by Nolson, but Sean here to answer the call to get right back into things. Nade from Runner. He lined up. Rafty comes on in. Rafty swings. Drops him down. Still trades ringing out. It's a Mixie Hill into this P5. That's what you expect inside of the map still. You don't always get 10 to drop 12 to close your map. And Nixa x ACCL, it's looking like they're going to hold on. Invincibles, they have one more break. One more chance to close this out. Draco down. Snake needs to go big into this hill. How much does he have in the tank? Crafty to cut him down. And this could be it. Invincibles just need to hold off one more wave to see a map number 5. Runners are on the outside. He's going to find one with Snake. Finds 2. Last chance. 4 seconds left. Nolson's going to win it out. And Nolson may have just shut the door here. Sean. No, Sean holds on. What is happening? Tuscan. It's a treat.
The problem here is that no one's rotated over because they can't get away from the hill because Invincibles were so damn close to winning that they couldn't afford to leave it alone. And when the rotation, Rafi wins the gunfight, Invincibles see it out, and
oh man,
goodness me, what an end to a map that we came into there. We will be seeing a map 5 between these two. What a banger set of series we've got tonight in our hands.
Andy, I didn't get to catch my breath after Densa got 12 kills in a row to close out the first Tuscan, and then they give us that and the second go around, and that P5, I'm just like, oh man, there's no way they do it. Sean breaks in for the last little bit of time, sends us to another rotation, but Invincibles, they get it done. They send us the distance. They're going map 5. Nixa x ACCL, they have looked fantastic, but they have let the monster back in, Enigma.
They have indeed. I mean, it's the same script in both of our series at the minute, right? Because you've got Celio letting War gain some momentum, never something that you want to do, letting Denza go
No.
on 12 streaks. And then on the other side of things, Nixa now brought back to level pegging. Is not technically going to be a reverse sweep because Invincibles did indeed take map 1. It was all Nixa from there. But if you are that side coming off the back of a big hardpoint win coming into these things, we see it time and time and time again. You carry a lot of momentum through to the search.
I think something we can mention Rafi, after his performance in the Pro-Am being picked up by Toronto Ultra EU,
Yeah.
I think that he has looked a lot more comfortable on this Invincibles roster. As expected, he's had a lot more time played with this Invincibles roster, more time to mold into their play style. But, I wasn't really impressed with Rafi. Yes, he was put in a really, really unfortunate situation with that Toronto Ultra EU squad. But, I was expecting a little bit more from him in the Pro-Am. And these numbers that he's putting up with the Invincibles, I'm liking the show that he's putting on so far inside the Elite Season 3. I'm looking at him to keep this going, but we're not done with Tuscan Hardpoints.
Goodness me.
Anti-Rucker Academy on their own revenge tour, looking to send us to a map 5 in another series, 235 to 158 against Dizzy's Rascals, and they can put it away here and now. You see Real going to find a kill over on the rotation onto Whalers. Sucre is second. Dizzy and Henry will be able to battle back in, but 5 seconds remaining. This has to be near perfect hardpoint. It has to be perfect hardpoint if they want to close this one out, but it doesn't look like Rocker Academy want to make it happen. They're still throwing bodies at this metals through the staircase in here. He's going to find Whalers from behind, but BB Connor's not going to let any more damage happen.
No, he's not. And actually, it's a huge rotation out. Dizzy's Rascals. Henry managed to get here, clean up one. Dizzy then saves Henry's backside by cleaning up Real. Rocker need to break this. Make no mistake about it. This is possible, but that's a big gunfight.
All starts with Lucky finding one. It's 3-on-3 now into the hill. Metals trades out onto BB Connor. Still back and forth trades. Henry now needs to go big on the inside. Finds 2. A second on the Metals. Pops up for Sucre, but Sucre takes the gunfight. Whalers now holding into a desperation play to lock down this hill. You just can't get it happen. And Dizzy's Rascals, they move in one by one to their grave. At 250 to 185, yet another map 5 inside of day 2 for the EU Challenger Elite Season 3.
You want to see just how close it can be in European Elite? Look no further than this evening. All 3 series going to a map 5, 2 potential reverse sweeps on the cards. It is pretty ridiculous. By the way, I just want to get back to a point that you brought up there that I thought was lovely. Talking about Rafi. Yeah, put in a really difficult spot, by the way, going into the Pro-Am. Really tough spot. I get what you mean in the sense of you want to see him more, and I think that's because we watch him day in, day out play really well in challenges. But he was put into a really tough spot, and the whole team really were put into a difficult situation. I think that the big silver lining that you can pull out of that, if you are Rafi, you've had an opportunity there to step up to a class of player that made the Pro-Am. You can learn from this, figure out a couple of new strategies, try and step your game up a little bit. So if he is indeed bringing some lessons learned back into this Elite season, could be one to watch for sure.
It could be one to watch indeed, but we're going to have to wait a little bit to see Invincibles because our main matchup going into their map number 5, it's another Tuscan Enigma. We're not done with this map just yet. A search and destroy.
Any maps?
How much gas do we have left in Team War's tank right now? They've rung off 2 in a row. Now looking to ring off a first round win here with the bomb planted, the post plant set up, a 1v2 Natix. Just no time, no resources. And that's Team War locking it down.
Yeah, and Denza opening himself up with a 3. And as far as I could tell, it looked like a really clean 3 as well. So he's clearly bringing the momentum in that he had at the end of that P4. Sorry, the end of the map 4. If you missed it, go back and watch. Denza finish things off with a 12-piece on P5. It was absolutely disgusting. So he's clearly brought the gun skill into this. Last time out, we saw Celio and the S&D on Bow Cage. They were very creative. They mixed things up. They were confident. You're in a game 5. You need to bring those same stones to the table.
Right off the rip, you can see Celio signs, they are going fast and furious towards this A site with Depa lurking towards E5 maps. Alex going for the check to see if a player has snuck through the middle of the map, but looks like Depa has realized there's a lot of pressure on him over towards P5 with Denza and Wardy just on the opposite end of that door. But in the situation, I mean, you can get this bomb down if you're Celio signs, and all you need is Depa to find 1 kill here to really push things in your own favor.
Well, the bomb's gone down, and Deppa's got this entire side locked off. That door will open. The
Oh,
problem is the mid courtyard is completely exposed. Denza's
he's
through.
been baited. He's been completely baited with that door opening, and Tenza just pumps the brake. He forgets Steppa's even there. Bomb goes down. Steeler side's now looking to play the 4-on-3. Wardy slides on in. Natix to the nether realm. Looking for a second one around the other side. It's a brilliant answer back from Deppa, finally answering the call. And D3 lines up 3 to close out that round. But that got a little bit dangerous. You know, Deppa almost got the worst time of his life.
Yeah, for sure. I think the situation there as well for Team War is an interesting one that they decide to put themselves in. They bait out with that door, so they're clearly thinking someone's there. The thing is, if you then go through mid courtyard, you've got to hit it fast. Otherwise, you then risk the player that you left alive a minute ago coming in and smothering you from the back. So they had to move fast. A couple of engagements don't go their way, and they all fall down. Celio happy to hit the A plant, and Team War's time to answer back.
Wanted to win at a maple there. Dylan Deppa, who has been namesake so far for this team, in my opinion. Second one out of Wee Man. The number strong in War's favor. Still has that presence towards map. So you know that there's a flank. There's no flank going to be here from Celio Sign. So Wardy set up and ready for the incoming presence. Natix flies on through. Oh, Wardy, he expected it, but he's not going to win that one out. 2v2, 33 seconds to make it happen. Cobra's going to have to defuse. Now, where are these Team War players? Weeman, does he have eyes on? Denza, is he going to check this one out? And nobody checks the bomb.
Oh, dearie me. Ladies and gentlemen, you have got to check your bomb. You cannot leave it alone for that long. Team War will be disappointed with that. Get the first blood. Get themselves the plant down real early. And basically, it was almost deja vu from the bow cage where Denza hops and I expected someone to clean it up. Doesn't come on in. Cobra, I said I wanted to see stones. Well, considered them right out in the open. Cobra, beautiful job. Celio 2-1 up.
See if Team War can pick up the rubble. Pick these up. Cobra, the quick scope. It's a hit marker. I'm lining up the nade, but it doesn't know Wardy's right on the opposite end. This could be fantastic timing for Wardy to slip the line into the back. Set up a flank to really push Celio Signs to the edge. And still, you can see through the wall, D3 has not given up that position back inside his spawn because they're aware that that middle pressure came through. So not yet getting rid of the thought that somebody could have slipped through the middle of the map. Now Deppa to the courtyard. He's going to expect Maple in the corner. Opens up with first blood. Now Wardy forced to make a play into the back line. Are they going to be ready for this? Wardy has everything to do right now inside of his middle map position. Well, Denza's looking to hold the front line here. One onto Deppa. Expecting the rest. Stun's going to be out. Up top, though, D3 finds the trade.
Yeah, Denza does a good job, though, of managing to hold the line because that will just slow everything down. The bomb does need to go down. You do have numbers advantage, but that's huge.
Man, the trade. Wardy now on the flank. Cobra goes down. Natix last alive, and they know where he is. 4 HP, and he's on the run. Well, the hunt is on right now from Team War. 16 seconds left. How much can you do if you're Natix in this position? You're going to have to get this bomb down at some point, and looks like the B-side's going to be where it happens, but Wardy hiding in the shadows. He gets the job done, and he puts away another round.
Denza goes disgustingly huge, essentially in a 1v4 situation, manages to open up with the kill, and then the stun tags all the players trying to barrel on through that choke point. Because they're slowed down, they're stuck in a situation where, yes, they're up 3v2, but one of them needs to put the bomb down. So you're basically in a 2v2, and as soon as Maple opens up with the first kill, it's disgustingly difficult. War with a fantastic retake, clutch up a 2v3. Make no mistake about it, that was Celio's round to be won.
Slipped right through the fingertips on that one. Andy, and now tied up in the series. Celio Signs last go around. I mean, that defuse was a Nixa defuse, and I don't expect that to happen again. So Team War, I mean, just get it in your heads. Check the clock. Internal clock needs to be going inside of this round number 5. Looks like Denza wants to make a play here. Depot this time around. Waiting with arms wide open. The sun's going to be thrown a little bit early, and no information off of it.
No, Deppa there being a little bit naughty, trying to do the aim assist check. We see you, sir. You are on stream. This works for Celio. They will happily let this slow down. They will happily let this become chess checkers, the Mexican standoff. But War want this bomb down on A. You can see it being rotated in.
Don't want it in a 4-on-4, though. As you can see, Natix sets up in the middle of the map. Not sure if Weeman spotted that out. think we'll understand soon as Denza slides right across. Will be able to dethrone Natix, but the trade from D3 is going to be bombed down. 24 seconds. Team War, they have to recover to get it into that plant. 40 is going to be there now to put it down. However, the bomb doesn't go down. Depa managing to take him out there. Cobra gets eyes on the player up top. Weeman will find the trade. 11 seconds left, though. Cobra in a position where he can really stop this bomb. Recovered. Maple getting it down, but Cobra, can he spot this out? Snipers in hand. Has repositioned. I saw it, but the bomb gets planted. 42 seconds, and they know exactly where he is, Andy.
It's so unfortunate. It's so unfortunate. Cobra gets a hit marker. He just loses out on the timing by milliseconds. If he clutches this, he's managed to overcome a lot of odds.
Oh, there's the first. Oh, no. I thought the collateral would be there. Around the outside, Maple reads in, and oh, man, that got close. Team War are really playing with our hearts inside of this Tuscan.
Oh, indeed. Wee man, as he jumps there and sees that glint, he must have been absolutely bricking it. It's unfortunate for Cobra. I actually think he does a really, really good job. Natix managing to get himself caught in a difficult situation, but Cobra gets the hit marker, and then it's just there's just so many minute COD timings that go against him. Very unfortunate. Team War won't care, though. They'll take the lead. They clutched up last time out. Celio looking to send this through B, getting aggressive, the creativity I wanted to see.
Denza. Oh, he is getting run over right now. Depa wants to just continue this pressure out. Denza just holding his life, playing this so long. 13 HP. Can you come away with the kill? He does. Celio Signs drop that player. Now Maple is already repositioned with the rat in hand. Really shots on D3. Cleans him up around the outside. Swats the auto. And everything that Celio Signs had going from him in this round, it has been shut down and thrown the wayside.
Yeah, if you are trying to build yourself into a round, ladies and gentlemen, don't let Siggy Maple have his way with you. Absolutely splits them apart, deals with it. We did get a look in, by the way, for a brief moment at the Dizzy Rascals and Rocket Academy Game 5. Also a Game 5 at 2-0 at the minute to Rocket Academy there, seeing out a close series. So very much so a case here where both favored teams, I feel like I could say, are in the lead. But don't write it off just yet.
At all. Celio Signs had that whole little run back on Bocage where they really pushed the efforts of Team War. And look at this from Depa. I love this. Getting aggressive right in the back line. Knows Maple has a sniper, so he's just going to run him over. 3v3.
Ridiculously satisfying catch, by the way. Just to point out, Wee Man on a 5. So wherever he is right now on a map, if he does get a hold of a glide bomb, those things are worth their weight in gold in any mode, but particularly in S&D. Provide you with so much information, and you can make entire plays around them.
Gonna happen. It has to be with the last two remaining players here of Celio Signs. Beautiful shot with the sniper out of Cobra. And now 2v2, 32 seconds. Celio Signs, they have to make a play, and I don't see any of these players. So, you know, Wee Man's around the outside. Nobody knows he's here, and in a position to punish. Wardy takes down Cobra, so 5 in a row still for Wee Man. Not a chance to get that glide bomb in hand. In fact, Depa. Oh my word, Depa. What was that?
Oh my. Okie dokie then. There's been some bad luck when it comes to sniper shots. By the way, loving seeing all the snipers in play right now. That, by the way, is Maple's gun, I'm pretty certain. Depa got that kill early on in the map, caught Maple's gun in midair, scoops it into his back pocket, and just decides to ego chow with it. Hits the quick scope. Ridiculous. Absolutely absurd plays out of the young man. He was fantastic in the Bocage S&D, by the way. Apparently, he loves this mode. Absolutely stepping up when his team needed to. Celio back within 1.
I'm at a loss for words with that. Depa turned up 8-5. Now Wardy back in the same situation that we saw him in a few rounds ago. Gets checked by a stun, so Celio Signs should know this, and Cobra will disengage from a position to see if he can put a plug in this whole lineup. But Wardy's just biding his time. He is okay with sitting and big chilling Cobra. I don't think he knows what's going to hit him, but well, I guess he doesn't need to know because Depa's going to slide on through, and it's a little bit of a hit and run. Oh, Cobra. Beautiful shot on a Wee Man.
Absolutely lovely. That kill mid-map, absolutely huge. I think it was Depa who picks it up, and what a surprise that we're talking about Depa yet again. Bomb is down, 2v4. It's a long one from here. They need some kills fast.
More. They need to find something into the round. Natix. It is going to be eyes on. Denza drops and Cobra closes the door. Celio Signs tie us up 2 rounds in a row. And man, oh man, I don't think they were able to get that done if Depa didn't get that clutch in the last round. And he opens things up into this round. And realistically, it's just Cobra staying alive there. Finds not just one, but 2 kills just because Depa takes down Wardy.
No, yeah, you're right. Depa with a massive kill there in the middle, because otherwise that entire engagement goes the other way. Wardy gets the kill and he gets to break through the back line, split the setup entirely. So huge out of him. Keeps on going on to a 4.
Here's the rip. Who's going to get first blood? I mean, I don't think first blood has really determined these rounds inside the Tuscan, Andy. But, you know, as the rounds slow down and as we get deeper into the search and destroy, I imagine that it will have a little bit of leeway. And again, it's Cobra. 3 in a row with the sniper. Absolutely tearing it up so far on Tuscan. And that was over towards A. Wasn't bombed down, but a kill onto Wardy.
And after starting off so slow in this map, I was surprised.
Peekaboo.
He had a fantastic couple of plays throughout. We will get brought down 3v3, and it looks like that bomb should be moving its way to A.
Depa has a feeling, has an itch that somebody is in the middle of the map, and he checks to his left. He is going to notice that his itch is correct. Weeman tucked away in the corner. Depa doesn't check it. Weeman deep enough that Depa doesn't see it, so punished. Not checking his corner. Deep 3 is going to fall as well. Weeman doubles down, bringing Team War right back into things. It's a 3v1 Natix. Last alive up top Church with an auto in hand. Got that buff, 30 bullets instead of, 25, and it's just not enough to get it done. So cleaned up by Weeman in the middle of the map, who is having a game on Tuscan, and Team War brushes off those last 2 rounds, and now they're on match point in game 5.
Yeah, well, the problem is with 5 extra bullets in the mag is when you're handing them to Weeman, they're worth so much more because that guy shoots straight. Has done for a very, very long time. Cleans up the kill there. 1 round in it. What a heartbreaking end this would be to Celio's series. Team War showing just that little bit of extra class right now. Celio, I've asked you to get creative. Be brave.
Fly Natix. Oh, he's grown wings. This round is going to tuck away into the A zone. Very standard hit towards A just to get this bomb down as fast as possible. But Natix just so distraught on if he wants to get this down. In fact, again, it's just Depa in a position where you need to find 1, maybe even 2 kills over in P5. And a setup away. Door's going to open. You know he's here, and Depa gets run over. And Denza finds the ball planter, so everything falling to the wayside here for Celio Signs. It's going to be a 2v4, and Cobra hasn't realized somebody slipped right on past him. Is deep in enemy territories. Will be able to find a trade onto Maple. 3v2 with a sniper and a pistol, and they don't even know Wardy's in the back line. Everything has been flipped around here inside the round. Celio Signs is going to be caught out in the middle of the map. D3 to fall by Wee Man. Now Cobra last alive. It has to be an ace to send us to a round 11, Andy. And there's just too much to do onto this map. You got to get the bomb. You got to find the kills. And there's 27 seconds just to make this happen. Cobra, can you make a miracle happen inside Tuscan? And nobody inside Team War is just giving him anything to work with here. You can see Cobra just left alone with his thoughts. Denza on the hunt. He's going to be around the outside, and we're getting a reverse sweep. Team War, they get it done. They find the Tuscans 3 in a row, and they take the series in game 5.
Heartbreaking for Celio. I really, really feel for him. They've had a fantastic series there. Some huge plays all the way through that series, but it's just a hurdle too far. Team War showing that little bit of extra class that they possess, and we're on board. Bear in mind here, another potential upset. Dizzy's Rascals 2-5. Rocker Academy on match point.
Point as well as storyline so far with these higher seeded teams just backed up now, looking to get it done. Lucky. Shots in the back. Doesn't catch that mark, but actually caught by BB Connor's nade. What a beautiful toss nade. You look at where he's sitting. That was deep.
Well, Suckery here with the sniper rifle. You feel he's got a lot to do, and what a shot that is. Catches Henry in midair, and Real will get another one on the board. 2v3. Bomb down for Rocker Academy. Good luck, Whalers of BB Connor. You've got a lot to retake from here.
Whalers spots out medals. Could have dropped 1v3 for BB Connor. Was able to find the nade to open this one up, but ever since that has been nothing but Rocker Academy looking for their triumphant reverse sweep. And it's going to happen. Rocker Academy get it done. They eliminate Dizzy's Rascals inside of that Desert Siege search. and 6-2 win to take out this whole series in game 5. Man, what is the magic that we're getting on day 2? 3 game 5s, and it's so far been all reverse sweeps. I'm curious to see what's happening with that last match.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me at all if we're through to like a game 5, round 11, 1v4 clutch scenario. Like, this has been ridiculous of an evening. We're going to have a quick look here at the Rocker Academy Dizzy Rascals stats. Basically, relatively even across the board, actually. Rocker Academy all chipping in a bit, lucky with perhaps a quiet game, but otherwise, no real standouts or disappointing performances across the board. So, that being said, then, Seymour, I want to pull you back to that winning round out of Team War. I really want
Okay.
to open up the play that they pulled off there. So they kept that one in the pocket pretty much the entire game, waiting for the correct moment to use it. The final defensive round that they are going to have, more than likely, and they pull it out of the bag, send all 4 players out through B, overwhelm the player that's been holding them back there, and then swarm themselves around the bomb site. Absolutely lovely stuff. Just showing that every now and again, if they need to, they can just turn it up a notch, open up a dial, open a drawer, and pull out a game plan. Lovely, lovely stuff. Really good.
We saw it in each of the Tuscans, Andy, as well. Maps 3, 4, and 5 just dominated by Team War. And you look at it here, Celio signs they were let in by a clutch play at a depot, but in the later ends, in Team War, the consistency reigned true. Denza 10-7, Wardy 7-6. But I want to talk a little bit about Wee Man, who's having a game of his own at 9-3, constantly finding kills, untraded, 7 untraded kills, and he was always able to find just pivotal moments to turn things in Team War's favor.
Yeah, and I mean, like we kind of touched on it throughout this series. There's been a buff to that AR, and you put something like that in the hands of Wee Man, and it can turn him into an absolute monster. He had a really good game, and the thing is, well, it was consistent involvement as well. Like there wasn't like Denza picks up the most kills, for example, but he picks up 3 in one round, and so on and so forth. Wee Man was just the guy who would consistently get the team some kills on the board, whether it was to open something up, or in many of the scenarios, it was that mid to late transition part of the game where it's all about making sure that you don't die because the bomb's down or you need a setup in play. He was very much so reliable there. You need one of those players on your side. Wee Man delivering to aplomb.
Delivering for sure, but Enigma, that's going to be all for our first slot of matches here on EU. We did it was Invincibles that actually took the series in game 4, so I assume that maybe we just had the numbers wrong at the top of the screen, and they get things done on that Tuscans Hardpoint. That went 250 to 223, so never seeing a game 5 there, but getting the job done nonetheless. And, so far, I've been impressed with the first set of slots we've got in EU Challengers, but coming up next is our second set, where we're looking at our main matchup with Team War and Ultra EU. Before that, a quick break. And when we return, it's going to be the Clutch GG presentation of the Challengers Elite Season 3. We'll see you soon. Folks, welcome back to the Challengers Elite Season 3. Day number 2 as we're hopping in with our second slot of matches. And I hope it's anything like our first slot because that was a banger set of series that we had. Once again, my name is Seymour. Alongside me is Enigma. And we are going to be taking a look at Team War versus Ultra EU in our first look in for our main matchup. But we also have Dos Tontos versus the Invincibles, Dizzy's Rascals versus Celio Signs. So plenty of action to have in Enigma. So stoked for this. I'm loving EU Challengers so far.
It's been ridiculous. You're asking yourself for another set of reverse sweeps. I don't know, dude. I'm holding on by the skin of my teeth a little bit. Throat's going a bit. Like I'm already thinking of my Florida holiday in a couple of days.
You got a holiday coming up. You don't worry about it.
I'm clinging on. So no, definitely been a ridiculous evening. Absolutely loved it, and ridiculous moments throughout those maps as well, including, of course, Denza's 12 streak towards the end of the hard point that saw it off. Just as I criticized him, just as I hit him with a little bit of criticism. It's not been your series. You need to prove that you are one of the best players in Europe still, as you have been for a long time. He went and delivered that. So cast curse at its finest.
Well, it's just, it's a typical Denza thing to do, just be quiet until you bring something up. And then he's like, hey, let's flick on the light 12 in a row, close out the game, send us to a map 5. And, he had a fantastic game in that map 5 as well. So Denza really turned things on towards the end there to close it out. But interesting enough, Enigma, we get that Tuscan Hardpoint once again. First map of our series here on the main matchup. Tuscan Hardpoint followed by a Desert Siege Search and Destroy. And then we look at a Gavitu control for our map number 3. If it does go the distance, a Berlin and a Tuscan to close things out. But, looking at this series, I am still feeling like it favors Team War a tiny bit more, especially considering we got that Tuscan Hardpoint right off the rip.
Yeah, I think there's a couple of maps in here that are just like, okay, you banned our best maps, we banned your best maps, this is what's left over. But that Tuscan Hardpoint, definitely alarm bells to give you a kind of glimpse over their stage 3 record so far. 250 to 153 win over Dizzy, 250 to 230 win over Rocker, and then the 250 to 181 win over Celio. So 3-0, pretty solid at all points. And they have some real points on the map that they just absolutely love. They were very capable around most of the map, but particularly that P4. Even if they let you rotate in early, say that they've got themselves locked down in P3, the money hill, they take it. A lot of teams, okay, we'll give it up, go towards P4. They're very comfortable setting themselves up to be around that hill from all different points and then swarming it at the same time. We saw it happen multiple times in the Celio game. There really are moments here where they can just chain together hills and make it a bit of a bloodbath.
I would say that Ultra EU is a little bit of a step up against Celio Signs. Although Celio Signs, they have been looking phenomenal inside the Elite Season 3. I'm expecting Ultra EU, the namesake academy team for Toronto Ultra, just to be a little bit of a level up for themselves. So looking to be a little bit more troubling on those maps. And when you're looking at this from Ultra EU's point of view, realistically, you're only looking at that Gavitu control to be in their favors. They're 1-1, it looks like, on that, but their one win on that was a 3-0 sweep over Mistaken.
Yeah, so you're right, a step up for sure. You're up against this Ultra side, and you do, we're on the viewpoint here with Steve-O, the most winningest challenger player across the last couple of years, across the Call of Duty League stage. And as we break into P1, you've also, of course, got Joey Gizmo, ladies and gentlemen, in for Ultra EU.
From London Royal Ravens and into Ultra EU's hands now. Looking to see if they can flip the script going into the third elite stage and make some noise. However, Team War quite noisy so far off the rip as they're getting 16-3 and counting with the last 21 seconds. You can see Ultra EU, they do have hands on the rotation to P2, looking to still put another swing at this first hill as Gizmo residing in the middle of the map. But you can see a hunt right now for Denza in the backline. All three players from Ultra EU looking to take him down, but Denza's not an easy kill as he goes 1 for 1.
He's not at all. He buys his teammates some time to get some pressure across the map. It's a little bit too early for him to fall, and in order to allow his team to really upset the Ultra EU defensive hold, but he does a good job of allowing them across. And unfortunately, though, all the kills in the feed, purple. But then again, never mind.
Never mind at all. Team War, they just weather the storm. They keep things in their own hands. Maple will drop, but look at that. Weeman and Denza, they come alive. They find 2 kills to open things up for a break. Steve-O now needs to go big over the top ropes. It's a nade from Furious to take him down, but Steve-O gets the job done on the inside. A break with the help of Furious and Ultra EU. Now a chance to pin Team War back church and have a successful rotate from 2 to 3.
Yeah, if you are War here, you don't want to be lingering around for a bit too much. And the problem they have as well is they're not even going to get all the clean scrap time. They might well sit on it for now, but Furious is still sniffing around, and the pressure that Ultra are going to have, this could really begin to spiral. This is worrying for War for just a moment, because they've got to get across the map, break this setup, and Ultra need to stick an AR, I feel, on the Godheady.
They are going to have that early presence. Maple, the only one really in a situation to mix things up, as they've actually slipped the line. Maple and Weeban both there. Gizmo with that AR will lock things down. That's the buffed auto, by the way. And look at that, a flawless 4 down, only losing out on 1 player, but he's going to respawn right back into things. Look at this, out of Gizmo. He's going to get aggressive over to P1, cuts down another 2. Somebody has slipped the line. It's going to be Denza in the back, but as he gets cleaned up, it's a job well done from Ultra EU now to keep their lead, or to flip this lead, hopefully, as they're looking at one last shot from Team War in through the back line. Maple on screen, losing out on teammates fast, has to make something happen. It's going to find 2. Denza closes the door, and there's the break in the last couple seconds. 20 now to pick up.
Yeah, and this should clean up and allow them then an opportunity to essentially steal out that last 20. Get themselves... Actually, they're just going to get aggressive. I don't think anyone's sticking around on it. Okay, Weeman does double on back. This is the hill I was talking about, though. This is where a lot of the Team War players are very comfortable to bide their time, move the defense around, poke and prod, and then slip in. Steve-O falling will make this even more difficult.
Gizmo not allowing anybody to slip in. Furious finds 2 around over at P1. Everyone knows somebody's going to be up here. Slides on in. Maple cut down. Rest of Team War now flooding on in towards the north side of the mini-map. I think Steve-O got that information. He's going to immediately disengage. Leave Beans alone to clean this up. Locks down 2. It's another 4 down. Look how clean this is at an Ultra EU.
I mean, we've just seen that this Ultra EU team lost to Dos Tontos just moments ago. So apparently they're just stepping up for the quality of the team in front of them, because this is really, really something that they're delivering right now. The start of it didn't look too great for them, but they've been great to break in and take P3 completely, and now they're in for 4.
Well, you know Team War, they never want to give up on the short shield. They love it so much. They're going to break back in for 1 more effort. This is the last 10 seconds looking to go their way here to keep us relatively even going into that map's P5, but still scrap time being fought for, as it is a rotation battle over towards that map's hill. Denza will be here first. He saw what he was able to do at the end of that Tuscan Hardpoint back in our last series, and you know, you don't want to let him heat up over in the same position. So Ultra EU looking to slip on in. Steve-O on screen, last one alive. To make something happen, biding his time, waiting for the reinforcements to come on through. Denza, another one down. Wardy on the front line. Maple cuts down Steve-O, and there you have it. Team War, they hold off.
And I was going to bring up the fact that Maple was started this one out 4-11. Needed to start to heat up a little bit. Couple of kills on the board is good for him. A little bit of a trade back and forth. No surprise when it comes to this P5 hill. It can be very, very messy. You're as much playing to stop the opposing team picking up points as you are trying to gain your own. And it's just a bloodfest. Maple even picking up his own teammate at this point. The rotation for 1 should go Ultra EU's way. And as we head towards the end of our first rotation, then Seymour all to play for.
Should be, but the whole talking point that we have, Enigma, is that Team War, they don't care about rotating. Their guns are hot, and they're ready to bully their way in. You can already see into the back lane, looking to cut off these reinforcements. Dance is going to find Furious. Maple takes down Gizmo, and just like that, they break the whole rotation within 8 seconds.
Yeah, they're very comfortable just getting themselves all into different positions and hitting it at the exact same time. They didn't manage to make it work in P4 last time out. They sure as hell made it work to break into 1.
Well, Maple is going to drop as Ultra EU not giving up just yet into this hill. They're going to find 3 their way to get back into this time. Only down by 20. Beautiful nade on Denza is going to open things up now for Team War to fly. Getting back into this hill. Denza, another one down. It's going to be Beans to answer that call. As the Team War barely holding on to this lead. Still 20 seconds to pick up. As you can see, some gunfights going over into Church. Going the way of Team War, albeit. So Team War now have the setup for P1. Collecting so much time here. Keeping their lead up by 30 and more. And they're going to have the initial time towards P2 unless Ultra EU find a break.
Yeah, Denza, by the way, goes absolutely massive. Not even just in the sense of the core and kill numbers that he's putting up, but the fact that Steve-O was in Church, causing so many problems to the Team War reinforcements getting through, was very, very scary for just a moment. Denza cleaned it up, then won another gunfight in front of him in order to really, really hand the hill to War. They're in for 2, but problems at the front.
Gonna be scrappy, but you need something at Ultra EU here. E-Man's going to fall in the back line. Now you can see the reinforcements from Team War. They spawn up back Church. Going to hit this once more. Denza leading the charge. Slides around the corner. Furious. Catches him low on health. Even hits the deck. He's going to find Wardy as well. So it's a 2v2 now. 3v1 or 2v1 here. Weeman, last one alive, gonna hop in for the tension. Den's up the respawn, will be able to cut down Stevo and Furious sitting inside that alley as Seymour right off the respawn, continuing to hold this pressure with winner's advantage. They're just closing this out.
They are, and we rotate then over towards 3, and the thing is here, last time out, Ultra were very comfortable. The weird setup that they had, though, was they set everything up tile side, southern side of the map, did not go Godheady. Gizmo was in the hill last time out. It turns out it's Beans this time. And again, it's a very alternate setup, very different out of the boys in purple.
Look at Wardy here. Wants to break this again right off the rip. He's going to fall. Stevo set up on this fountain. Pressure around the back. It's going to be Fury. He's coming to help, and what a beautiful cleanup there. 4 down, 14 more. They're going to be spawning up towards Church. Still player number 1, Wardy, has been able to slip into Burning, relinquishes the pressure of this hill, but is going to drop now. Forward pressure from Ultra EU. This is some good time that they're going to pick up.
It really is. It's a huge play out of Stevo in order to stay alive. He does get the support in from Furious, but it is a 3-piece from Stevo in order to make sure they keep a hold of that hill. 3 just isn't going the way of War. They just don't have anything in order to unlock this really right now. Going to drop back for 4. And for one of the first times ever, we're going to see War not be here second. They're much happier to break this hill. Let's see how they do when it comes to setting up and holding it for your own.
Stevo finessing 3 in a row. Can he find number 4? He knows he's dancing with Maple. Who's going to be the one leading? Maple decides he's going to take the tango. And now Team War in a position to break once more. Looking to overwhelm Church and break on in. And there they have it right off the rip. They're going to take and control seize this Church Hill. And not for long, though. Ultra EU, they have the better spawn. So they're going to be able to keep this pressure up as now Team War spotting up back towards that northern side of the minimap over towards P1. Maple at the front of the Church. Maple to cut down Furious, but Ultra EU a few trades. And with these respawns, looking to get right back into things. But they spawn out. So the pinch here from Wardy might be lethal. In behind with the help of Maple, Stevo goes down. Now Wardy just waiting for a chance to strike. Here it is. Going to find Gizmo as well. Furious cuts him down for the trade. In comes Team War in for the time. Maple's going to take down Beans. And there you have it. The break once more from Team War. It's Maple 3 in a row to make it happen.
We're seeing here 2 clashes of titans. Ultra happy to break War. War happy to answer back with their own. We're going to head on over to P5. This game is a stalemate at this point. Fantastic stuff across the board. This is very much so a hill where we're just going to see a lot of players slay out. And the thing is that I want to kind of bring to your attention here is as teams start to tickle over that 200-point mark, as they start to get towards the dying stage of the game, they have to consider rotations. So often we've seen War be very happy to break Ultra, but do you want to risk it this late in the game?
Well, it didn't work this time on P5. Maple still in a situation to spoil the fun, but he's losing out on players. He's losing out on teammates fast. Finally slides on in, going to take down Stevo. The break on in for Team War. Flying out to the staircase. Furious doesn't know what hit him. But even still, there's going to be players there to trade things out for Ultra EU. It's a 4-point game, Enigma. As this is neck and neck, we have a gosh darn tug-of-war on Tuscan, and I'm loving it.
Yeah, and actually, I think Ultra are going to just bully War back here. Never mind, Wardy going to pick up 2, get himself in for the last bits of scrap time. Beans extend himself out onto a 5. A glide bomb here would be absolutely huge.
Whoa.
Disgusting out of Beans.
Well, this is actually what you got from Denza at the end of the Tuscan against Celio signs, but Beans turning up here 27 and 26. Hasn't been the most phenomenal game, but even. And you can hold something to that now. Into the hill, Ultra EU for the rotation. Team War looking to break. Denza opens up with the first one, traded out by Beans. Weeman keeping the numbers even. Wardy a second one on the Furious. So there's the break from Team War into this hill. 45 seconds. They can end this here. So Ultra EU, they need to get back into this. And Beans right away, he invests the glide bomb. Drops the hammer right on 2. Beans getting Ultra EU right back into the point.
As soon as he made that play, I was very much so concerned for War because it just allows you so much, and he picks up a 2-piece with it. And this is still winnable for War, but they have to be perfect from here.
Well, it has to be perfect, Ultra, and hey, they don't need to dedicate a player, but it's going to be 1 point away if they give up all this time. And I think if you're Ultra and hey, you know, Ultra EU, you know you can't throw some players out here. Look at player number 4, Denza has rotated all the way around the whole map. Looking to flip out Ultra EU, make this impossible to win. Maple here to strike, Wardy to shut it down. It's Team War, and it has been Team War on Tuscan. We know they're a good team. We know they're the better team on Tuscan, and they are just making it happen towards the end of these games. 250 to 218. Team War, you highlighted the rotations are everything, and they take them away from Ultra EU.
Yeah, it's that flick of the switch that I was hoping to see, because it's all good and well relying on the ability to break a team, but the quality that you're up against means you can't demand that consistently. The flip of the script, the decision to get in there first was huge. I thought that Beams with the glide bomb might just completely upset the table here, rock the apple cart, but they do enough to Team War. They see it out, get themselves in through the back, and we move over to Celio Signs versus Dizzy Rascals, full cage hardpoint, and looking at that scoreboard, it's been a bloodbath.
Oh, it has been, but remember back to our map number 1 with Celio Signs, was they were the ones to make a comeback on this map. Now a chance to put this away with 15 seconds. Dizzy Rascals, how much magic do you have in the hat? Cobra, we've cut off 2 players, spots out some damage on the BB Connor, but it's D3 with an aid to clean it up. Slides around the outside. Dizzy laying prone, cleaned up, 3 down again. You can end this here if you're Celio Signs. And look at this positioning from D3. It's so phenomenal. Just cut things down. BB Connor, a late Hail Mary of 2 kills. Finds all 3. So keeping this one alive, but 6 seconds for Celio Signs to close this one out. I mean, this would be crazy. This would be a breakdown.
Oh, this breakdown of some degree if they managed to throw it from here. It looked like it was finished right there and then until the BB Connor triple. We spoke last time, by the way, when they played on this map, Celio Signs, you've got to shut down Cobra. The rest of his team stepping up.
Well, Depa here puts down 2. Now 2 seconds to close this one out. Whalers making it last a little bit of a hurrah. Keeps things going. BB Connor to help. The contention still into this 4th Grandma's Hill, as D3 will be dropped by a nade from Whalers. And look at that. Henry rings off 2 to keep things in hand of Dizzy Rascals. There's no way. There's surely no way they make this happen. 224 to 248. As you see, Celio Signs now desperation is going to be ensuing inside the map. Dizzy, Whalers, they're cutting off these rotations. The players, you got one up top inside the attic. Who's it going to be? It's going to be Depa to drop on down, finds Henry. Whalers inside the hill. He's going to find one, overwhelmed by the pressure. Cobra's keeping it going. Dizzy last alive. Oh my word, Dizzy. Oh my word, Dizzy. He's keeping it going. And they can close this one here. And all of a sudden, if you see Celio Signs, you need to break. 5 seconds left. They're trying to get into this hill in the back to be Natix. Henry's going to cut him down. D3 on the front line. Henry with the pistol takes him down. Depa last alive. And what do we get on our boat cautious? It's just constant upsets. And wow, what a game. Dizzy's Rascals, they have the magic.
Oh, goodness me. There was a BB Connor triple in order to shut down P2, in order to stop that being where it ended. And there was still about 20 seconds left. And I thought, okay, Celio Signs, sure, you're just about there. Rotate in, get yourself in. But the one thing that we've got to remember from when they played against War earlier on is they consistently left gaps. When it came to that Grandma's Hill, they consistently had a slot open somewhere, usually down the right-hand side, where teams could get in, break the setup down. I just didn't think there was enough time for Dizzy's Rascals to do that. Well, apparently so. Getting themselves in, go absolutely massive. Henry drops 45 on the map, nearly 5k damage. I wish we'd caught the entire thing.
I think we're glad we got in when we did get in. I mean, we're over at P2. I'm sorry, I'm starting to just catch my breath after that last little bit. That was insane. BB Connor, though, 3 kills over at P2 to keep things going to a Grandma's Hill. And what was it? It was Whalers in a clutch 1v2 to hold things out, and Grandma's to pull the spawns for Dizzy's Rascals. So many things went right. So many clutch plays from Dizzy's Rascals, and you can see it wasn't just one player that turned up. I mean, you had BB Connor, Henry, and Whalers all along for the ride. And if you're Celio Signs, just like Team War back in that first series that we had, you are heartbroken.
Oh, without a shadow of a doubt. And the thing is as well, like, again, I made that comment about, like, you've got to shut down Cobra. I actually thought his teammates had done enough this time around. I thought they'd actually been involved quite a bit. D3's perhaps a bit underwhelming, dropping a 10 neg, but everything else looked solid. I don't know how they've managed to throw that one. That is going to be a difficult pill to swallow. I believe that we're actually going to get to have a look here at the Team War stats.
I want to take a look at this one.
Yeah, I want to open this up a little bit, and straight away across the board here, Wardy, 38 and 22. Oh, that guy is a talent.
Oh, he is, and right alongside him, Denza. I mean, turned up in the last Tuscan hardpoint we saw, and he kept it going into this go around as well. And just to mention, I mean, that was Team War in the lead between I think the first 2 set of rotations, with Ultra EU barely keeping it even. And one little flick of the switch towards that later end of the second set of rotations, and you can see that Team War came alive. They beat them out on the rotations. They bully them on P1, and they just catch them a little bit lackluster back into P2 with a huge flank from Denza.
Yeah, you're right. Denza very much so did the right thing there, getting himself in early. I was very glad to see them change that up, get themselves in first, make life a bit more of a nightmare for Ultra EU. Because there was a couple of hills, especially when it came to, for example, P3. P3 basically belonged to Ultra throughout that entire map. They were very comfortable there, and it just wasn't as clean as Team War usually make it look. So the fact that they were very happy to pivot and still came out on top, it just shows why they love that map so much.
Uh, I'm excited to see what we get throughout these teams because we just got two round. Wait, no, not two round 11 game fives, but two game fives in our first set of matches. And now in our second set, I mean, you get neck and neck games just right away at a team war and Dizzy's Rascals 250 to 249. I still can't get over that on a Bocage hardpoint. I mean, usually you end at time. Usually you don't get
Yeah.
1 point games on that map, but that is just everything right there for Dizzy's Rascals now to pick up the momentum going into map 2 on that series, which would be a Tuscan Search and Destroy. But map 2 on our main series in Team War that we should be keeping an eye on, Andy, is going to be Desert Siege, Search and Destroy. And when we get these players ready to go, we are going to take a look at it. But let's talk a little bit about the past here for Ultra EU on this map, because we haven't seen Team War play this map, but Ultra EU, they literally just played it on the mainstream in their first line.
They did, and they lost it 6-4 to Dos Tontos. I mean, I will say about this Ultra EU side, this is a very much so newly put together roster. They've brought in Joey, obviously, not that he won't have experience playing with these boys before, but sometimes S&D can be problematic in the sense of you've got to figure out these strategies very, very quickly. You're up against top players in the elite. So if there's a chink in the armor there, they'll find it. The one thing for me, as much as War haven't played this map in S&D, they've been very, very good in S&D throughout the entire elite so far.
And you talk about Gizmo here. I don't think people really remember back in Cold War that Gizmo is what a champion, if not inside the EU challengers. So I mean, you have to watch out for him because coming back into this, I mean, he ran the town, he ran the tables last year inside a Cold War. So looking to do it again now in this Ultra EU roster, and you expect it from him for sure. And one thing going into the second map that I'm excited for is who's prepared on a Desert Siege, because usually you only see a Desert Siege in map number 2 if a team is prepared for it, if this is, their pick to go to, because oftentimes this is a map 5 decider, not a game 2.
Yeah, and I think that, I mean, we don't know the veto process to a T, but when it comes to the fact that Tuscan hardpoint got in there, there's sometimes in order to get the map that you want, sometimes you are willing to give it up somewhere else. So I don't know. Maybe this is one that Ultra you have spotted Team War aren't really willing to play, so we'll throw that in there. The problem is that it might just not be one they're willing to play because they're so good everywhere else. So they still might
Right.
be very solid here. They might not be bad. So Ultra EU, though, I would really want to see them bounce back here because although we've had 2 reverse sweeps already today, don't rule out any more. It's a long way back against the Team War side.
Well, I don't think my heart could handle another game 5 Enigma, but you know what? I'm here for it. I love it. And, I will make it handle a game 5. And here we go with their map number 2 into Desert Siege. Team War looking to keep up their success after a very strong Tuscan hardpoint. Ultra EU, can they battle back? And right away, you're looking at the sniper battle. It's Beans to lose to Maple and first blood at a Team War.
I'm looking forward to seeing this battle. Actually, I'm really, really excited for this because Beans has really lit up the scene this year. He did a good job last year, lit up the scene very much so this year. And, well, as I was about to get into that, Furious, good luck with the 1v4.
Well, on a map like Desert Siege, you would expect Beans to be strong with that sniper, but Maple takes him down immediately. You can see Team War following up with it. 3 consecutive kills. Putting Furious like, really back against the ropes right now. And bomb down, a lot to work on. 45 seconds and no information on where these Team War players are. And you can already see the setup from Team War. Wee Man just on the sandbags across the way through dunes. You can expect the rest of Team War to be on the hunt. You can see Maple and University and The second one, Wardy, on the hunt through the spawn. Weeman's going to get eyes on Furies, 47 HP, and he gets cleaned up. So Team War, they answer first off of a snipe win out of Maple.
Yeah, opens up that entire side of the map, manages to shut down the opposing sniper, which as well, not just giving you the numbers advantage, but it gives your teammates a lot more freedom to roam around the map. You don't want a sniper shutting down all of your lanes. That battle will no doubt continue to rage on throughout this. The Maple Beans duo will be going at it for sure.
It's just a back and forth fight that we see constantly between teams, and Beans is going to be a crucial player with that sniper rifle on this map and seeing if he can keep the pressure on Team War. But right away, you see a trade going out. Gizmo's going to get eyes on Denza, the bomb carrier. Cooks the nade. Kobe. Right into the lap. That's a perfect toss nade to take that bomb down.
And he thinks he's seen Morty too. And he does ring out some damage as well. So this is going to back him on down. 2v3. The Team War player is very much so hemmed into a corner here. Going to need to come out guns up in order to try and remove Gizmo from what is essentially a power point at this position.
Realistically, you've given up so much map control to Furious, so Maple, he knows he has to put a plug in the middle of the map, but Gizmo is still alive and well. Over towards A, cuts off another player, leaving Maple last alive in a 1v3 of his own. Gonna get eyes onto one. Bean's gonna drop, but here is the trade right in behind. It's gonna be Steve-O to remove him, and Ultra EU to bounce back.
Yeah, answering defensive round with defensive round. Best way to really start things off. Both teams at this point just going to be trading blows, trying to find a chink in the armor, trying to find a gap within the setups. Again, we don't have much on tape around Team War, so Ultra EU are going to be figuring this out on the fly. Feel like a lot is going to come out of whether or not Beans can open up this sniper battle with Maple, which we're going to get to see again, Steve-O.
I had to do a deep dive just to confirm my thoughts. And, Steve-O and Gizmo played together last year on Atlas Lions, the champions of European challengers over on Cold War. So back together again on Ultra EU. And this is going to be a deadly duo to watch out for going forward into challengers for however long they stick together. But Beans opens up onto the sniper battle that we saw. That's going to allow Furious to fly on forward, take down Weeman. And this is exactly what you need at Ultra EU. It's what we've been looking for. And a flawless way to get this bomb down. Now Steve-O starts right behind. Densa's going to have to make a move. And he does. He's going to take him down on the bomb. But Gizmo right there to trade it out. 1v3 for Wardy. What do you have to do? 27 seconds. Let's get all 3 kills. Take that bomb down on a defuse because all 3 are in a position to watch it out. There's the information. Wardy's going to at least find 1, but there is Furious for the trade.
Yeah, Wardy had no idea where Furious managed to get himself off to there, just basically chasing ghosts at that point. You can see as well, the second that sniper kill comes in, all the Toronto players start moving. They know where they want to be. They very much so looking to exploit that sniper fight. So it will be crucial for both sides here, whoever gets that opening pick. What I do wonder is if at some point we see either Maple or Beans change off of that, a different in strategy, perhaps stick more to the close side, the palace part of this map and away from the open dunes.
If it's stacked. Furious on 4 in a row. Eyes on him for those streaks. Desert Siege wide open. Desert. Streaks would be quite lethal. Do it. Beautiful nade again at a Gizmo. This time on a Wardy. Denza has slipped the line to get that bomb down, but losing out on that player is going to be so crucial for the post plant because there is that chink in the armor that you're talking about. A Gizmo, what a shot onto Denza. And another one onto Maple. He's killing them all. Weeman last alive in a 1v4. Is in behind. Steve-O already on the defuse. Going to find a kill on the Gizmo, shutting down that momentum, but Steve-O not giving up on that defuse. Ultra EU, they take that raid out from under Team War.
Joey Gizmo just lets it fly. The guy's got a right arm on him. Another huge grenade kill. He actually gets thrown off a little bit from that, by the way, because he gets the grenade kill, thinks he's probably cleared out the bomb site, and then someone else is planting. But the adjustments that he makes, the gunfights that he takes next, clean, crisp, run straight through War. And Ultra EU here do take out a little bit of a lead. They managed to string some rounds together. 3-1 up. War gonna have to come out swinging.
Don't want to get down 4-1 in a Desert Siege. This map is not easy to climb back in, and you can see Team War making an adjustment, putting a plug right into University. Furious wants to go to toe-to-toe with Denza, and he will. Brings things back into a 3-on-3, but That 5 spree from Furious, like I said, last round can turn into Shriek. So keeping an eye on him, see what he can do now with the situation.
Completely right to take his time, but I think that there is about to be a
Look at
gunfight
this.
over there somewhere. Hey, man. Yeah, you're right. He's in round the back. Being
Oh,
seasoned, but he wins it.
and immediately you see Wardy doubles down on Gizmo. Furious caught in no man's land, and Weeman completely cracks the code. That is exactly what you need on Team War. Something interesting, something new, and they send Weeman on a mission into enemy territory. And he comes out with 2 crucial kills.
Huge round. Huge in the stake of things. Not only because of the fact that obviously you're bringing that gap back by 1, but Furious was in a position there where he could very much so have picked himself up some streaks, and it has indeed shown a gap here. If there is no presence from Beans over those dunes, if you can manage to remove him, it's open for you to attack.
Is Ultra EU have been so strong towards this A bomb, or like they have finally understood this, Andy, and they're going to take the bomb somewhere else. As you can see, Denza, bomb in hand, going to go toe-to-toe with Gizmo, this time over towards B, and he comes out with the fight win. Opens up the B site for a susceptible or for a possible plant, but he doesn't want to dedicate himself to it just yet. Team War still biding their time with 60 seconds left.
Always going to be weird seeing Steve-O and Denzer on ARs. And Steve-O probably just looking to break his goose egg at the minute. Sound nothing.
Here it is. Right around the corner. Denza, he doesn't know. Where's the trade? Steve-O gets out. And he tucks on down. How is he still alive?
Maple has managed to retrieve the bomb, so they will know Steve-O's backed off here. This will give them an opportunity to perhaps saunter it on forward and plant it. Oh, big gunfight.
Has to make a play. 1v2. Bomb gets recovered, 22 seconds. Both players on Ultra EU holding hands towards the A site, and Weeman has to go for a 50-50. Well, he's chosen wrong. Beans is going to be up there to close this one out. It was a setup by Furious and a shutdown from Beans, and Ultra EU back to a 2-round cushion.
Yeah, very comfortable around that. Saw it all the way through. There was one moment where Denza gets gunned in the back, essentially. Mixy up close gunfight, but it never fell out of Ultra's hands there. And I like the change up from Beans. Gizmo instead this time slides himself out to the dunes. Beans in that top tower position, and it's moving that sniper around. It's changing the strategy up over and over again. It's going to make Team War question everything and potentially slow them down on the assault.
At this Ultra EU, they pick up that bomb. They head over to A. Oh, looking to get it down ASAP. The nades coming out from Team War. They know this is going to be here. They chip down Steve-O, but they don't take him down. So the bomb gets planted in a 4-on-4 now. Team War, how are they going to open this one up? You look at Weeman on a flank here. Eyes on the Beans. It's going to be 2 down now. 4v2. Ultra EU, they have the bomb down, but they don't have the numbers. Furious in a position where you need to go big in this position. But Maple's going to catch eyes on with the sniper. Watching right down the lane. He takes him off the map. 1v4 from Gizmo, and he's going to get dropped as well. Denza at range has not been missing. 4 and 6 into the map, but all 4 of those kills have been crucial as ever.
It's that gap again. Seymour is in through the dunes. Whoever's supposed to be taking over from Beans' duty, or maybe Beans just rotated away himself. I can't see the minimap, so I can't really be sure. But Weeman finds the chink again, collapses in through the middle, cleans up a couple of kills, splits that defense, that post-plant hold into pieces. And we are again back within 1 round. But because of Ultra EU managing to string rounds together earlier on in the day, Team War have to find something very, very quickly to even the pie.
Defenses haven't been the best just yet, and it's mainly been because of Joey Gizmo, or this guy right here, Beans with the sniper. Team War, they got to be ready for this. They have to be aware that, it's either Beans or it's Gizmo in this position, but either which way, you need to be ready for when it does present itself. Spawns the head. The nade's going to chip up a few players, disengages them, but right into Furious. On the crossfire, he takes down Wardy. What a big kill.
Yeah, big fan of him backing off as well. Just maintaining that numbers advantage. The onus is on Team War. They've got the timer up against them. 45 seconds. The gunfight, the sniper fight, it's here.
The dance of the ages right now throughout Desert Siege. Bomb's gonna get planted, but here comes Steve-O above them. They don't even know. Steve-O opens things up. Now Maple lasts alive as he just flies on forward, and they know exactly where the sniper is. All information in Ultra EU's favor. Gizmo is already on the defuse. They're going up 5-3.
Just get split in half by Steve-O, who saunters on over the top, picks up that double kill. It actually looks really good for War at points there, but the problem there is just he's finding that post-plant setup that allows you to provide cover over the bomb. As soon as your two players are supposed to be up and personal with it go down, it is damn near impossible to hold on to. You still had the sniper in play for Ultra. Seymour on the very brink of losing this one. Could be one apiece very, very quickly. We've got a live look in as well, and the S&D as close as the Hardpoint.
Act a little live looking. That Rascals, another one rings off. That's gonna be 4-2 for them. They go up 2-0 over Celio Signs. This is good looks for Dizzy's Rascals. A strong team indeed. Looking to cement it. Back to our main coverage though. 3-on-3. Ultra EU, a chance to put this one away in this round. On one player, though, as you see Maple taking down Gizmo. And, you know, this has been the whole, I guess, catalyst to Team Wars retakes is that Dune side. And Ultra EU, they know that, so they're flipping this out to their spawn.
Yeah, that's exactly what they're playing at here. They're trying to just change it up. And that gunfight will essentially seal off that so much of the map. Steve-O's still up 1-1. Sorry, one still alive on each side up against Wardy.
2021 champion right here. Steve-O. 4 in a row. Can you make it 5 to close it out? Right on the corner. No eyes on. Either player just dancing around each other, just trying to find the information. 12 seconds left. Wardy, you have to make a play. Steve-O's going to come around this one. Wardy finds it, but that's it. No time. Steve-O stays alive long enough, and I don't even think he checked the bomb. That was all gut from Steve-O.
What? Sometimes being brave and bold pays off. I actually was very worried there for a moment. If I was him, I would have been checking that bomb several times over throughout. He was very happy to just play his life, stay away from the engagement. And at the end, he might lose it, but it doesn't matter because they will take the map one apiece. I believe we're going to be rotating over to our Rocker series, another one ongoing at the minute. A team that have already been in action this evening and are still going at it here, Seymour.
Rocker series has been quite insane, to say the least, as they take what looks like first map on Tuscan Hardpoint, 250 to 125 now. We're going to push the second map in their favor as well. Inside this last round on Desert Siege, as we get a look in now as Dizzy's Rascals lose out onto that round, giving Celio Signs a way back in for the 3 in that right. But here, Rocker Academy, a chance to put this one away. 2v2, Snake caught in the open. Lucky's going to take him down with the Rat Runner. Last alive now. Can you send this another round? Lucky. For the information it's going to be here. Ronnie's going to go toe-to-toe with him, but 78 HP, just needs to play his life. Sukri alongside him, goes for the fly. Runner 1v1. Lucky, he's going to spot him out as well. Runner's going to get caught in the open, and Lucky shuts things down inside map number 2. 6-3 for Rocker Academy, and they're going to go up 2-0.
Absolutely no need to be challenging that, young man. The first gunfight is beautiful. He then repositions, gets the kill. Thought he's done a lot there. He's done enough. It's a really good job out of him. And then for some reason just gets angsty, gets over aggressive in the follow-up. Let's move into another match, Seymour. We're Search and Destroy. We're at Tuscan. Dizzy's Rascals 4-3 up against Celio Signs. The Hardpoint finished with 1 point between them. It looks like we're going to go right to the wire in our search.
I've said it. I'll say it again. Challengers is a train that just never stops running. Now here we go. 4-3. Henry on the flank. Chance to spoil the fun here for Celio Signs. Nobody knows he's back here. Cobra recovers the bomb, but here comes Henry and Dizzy around. Depp is going to follow Cobra for the trade. Henry knows exactly where this player is. The 2v1 is going to be a battle here, but Cobra, does he know that Henry's right around the corner? It doesn't seem like that. BB Connor's going to get the information. Should be Henry to trade this one out, and we get the swing. Dizzy's Rascals, 5-3. They can put this up 2-0.
Fine margins, super fine margins, because Cobra there, very nearly wins that opening engagement. And if he had managed to, I mean, yeah, in the end, he does fly out, but perhaps he plays it differently. Perhaps he just takes his time for just a moment. And we're in a 1v1 scenario, and they're switching back and forth between weapons here. I wonder if we have seen some sniper play Cobra. We've seen him do some disgusting things this evening. Looks like he's going to go with the automaton instead.
Their way back into the search and destroy. A stun through the middle of the map. That's going to be a lot of information for Dizzy's Rascals. That doesn't stop. MP40 and slip the lines here. BB Connor doesn't have eyes on that cross, and Nade's going to keep him backed up as well. All the opportunity here for Celio Signs really to open things up for a flank, but nobody to commit. Doors open. Natix can swing. BB Connor now a lot to do. Depa and Natix here with a lot of map control, and Dizzy's Rascals, they need to dig their way out of this hole at the moment. BB Connor drops on down to the roof. He's going to find Natix. Depa falls. Dizzy here to help. And they completely relegate all of that pressure that was once there. Cobra hunted down. Whaler's going to take him here. And now last one alive to fall. Dizzy's Rascals 6-3 on the search and destroy. They're going up against Celio Signs 2-0.
I feel like there's the weapon change there. If that is what we got to see as we were coming into that, I feel like the weapon change away from the sniper onto the automaton speaks volumes, because we saw in that series previously, the sniper in Cobra's hands, he was very, very comfortable with it. He goes 6-6 here, not putting out a massive amount of damage, perhaps felt like he was a part of the reason why his team was struggling, why they weren't winning. He wasn't involved in enough engagements. It's been a long evening for them. They were reverse swept in the previous series against Team War. They played really well as well. Then are massively come back on by Dizzy's Rascals to lose 250 to 249 the Bow Cage Hardpoint. I just wonder, has the mental started to be eroded? Have they started to perhaps fall off the cliff a little bit?
You might be thinking that, especially that reverse sweep is just not something that you can really claw yourself back mentally easily, I'd say, Andy. So, going into the series, I was really hoping that map one would go their way just for a little bit of momentum shift back in their favor. But Dizzy's Rascals, they have just been laying on the hurt, giving the pain. And Celio Signs, they just haven't had enough. And they just keep on getting just thrown curveballs every switch ways. And I got to feel for them a little bit, because Celio Signs, they had a chance to go up in the series 1-0 right at the start, but a 250 to 249 that is a tough one. That is heartbreaking.
Yeah, and it wasn't even just that it was 250, 249 either. The comeback, if you didn't see it, those of you watching, it is something. It is 249 to, like, I don't know, about 190, something like that. Maybe 200
like that.
And BB Connor clears them off the P2 hill with a triple kill and a Hail Mary grenade, then rotate perfectly into 3, clean out the Celio players that were there, win every single gunfight, the same kind of gaps that Celio had been leaving in the Team War game as well. So a lot compounding. I feel for this side, because they've looked really good, particularly impressive and punching above what some of us would have been expecting. But it's been a long evening for them so far. And the evening will continue on. Team War, Ultra, we're tied 1 apiece. We go into then our Gavutu control.
So we do 1-1 in the series, as this is the one series that hasn't been one-sided throughout our streams, as we see an opening here from Team War on the attack. They're going to find 2 towards the bow. Wardy, big kill here, but it's going to be Steve-O to answer back, relinquishing a little bit of pressure now into the backline. And look at that break. Ultra EU, they are not giving a lick of time or day.
They aren't. It is so aggressive out of them afterwards as well. They've pushed up so far up the map. That kill will open Beach up just momentarily. Maple able to get forward just a little bit, but someone's waiting on the other side. It'll be Gizmo. Wins the first, hits the second. Team War are really far away from this. A minute to go still, but that's not the start you need.
That's what I expect from an experienced player from the CDL coming back into challenges. Presence like that on Gavutu, just to understand when to push that lane, and he does that perfectly. Letting down even more time for the clock. It's going to be an opening for Team War with 3 down. Vortex needs to go big in this positioning. Good for 1 against Wardy, but look at this. Team War not giving up just yet. It's going to be another 3 down. Beans finds a nade onto Denza, but this B zone is going to be tough one. Weeman in a position really to punish a lot of the respawns, but he is going to be cleaned up from the respawning Maple, and that B presence is gone.
It is, and 30 seconds left to go. Lives about even, so shouldn't really be considered at this point. For War, you've just got to get forward, and they're being pushed on back, but they do actually manage to get in on B. And importantly here, P1 presence. They have the AA gun in their hands.
Dude, but Denza needs to stay alive. I don't understand the situation just play in that position, but now 17 seconds. Team War grasping at straws on the desperation now to take this boat zone and take it fast. 15 seconds left on the clock. You lose that on 2. Here comes Ultra EU knocking on the door. Steve-O, what a shot from range, clearing off these players from Team War one by one. 4 in a row from Vortex, now taking his eyes over towards the respawns. Maple here to play. Has to reload. 57 HP. Finds another one. Oh, Wardy gets worked. 6 in a row from Steve-O. 10 and 3 into the round and shutting down Team War on their offense.
Apparently, Steve-O should have been an AR player this whole time. Who'd have thought? This is disgusting. This is ridiculous. He goes absolutely massive there, using a concrete post as his best friend. Keep an eye on Steve-O coming off the start of this one, because if he does open up a glide bomb, that makes B damn near impossible for an attacking team, because you can just plant it right inside of there. Speaking about getting inside of there, what was Denza doing? Why was he not inside the tank? What was he doing stood out in the open? Poor play from him.
Little lost, like a lost puppy into the hill. But you know, not only would that glide bomb from Steve-O be good on the defense, but on the offense too, just utilizing it to maybe even capture that B zone. Just so many opportunities here on Gavitu. The only thing is though, he has to get it. And here he comes on the flank. There it is. Locked down. Glide bomb. Hops into the B zone. Stops the clock in a minute 7. Now looking to play his life and distract Team War. While his respawning teammates go and siege out this A zone. However, Denza, big kill into Gizmo, should be able to put this to a halt. And Steve-O gets cleaned up, so no pressure on B anymore.
No, Morty's managed to break the offensive wave over at A. So although Furious is still alive, he's going to have to push on through in order to stem Team War reinforcements getting in. And Team War have just decided to saunter straight on through. The problem is the spawners put Ultra EU players right on the point.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Spawns at Gavitu. Haven't seen that one before, but look at what it does. It just allows a bottleneck opportunity for Team War to just flood on in, collapse on the positioning, and hopefully take them down. It doesn't work their way. As you can see, Ultra EU half managed to climb back and shovel their way out from this hole. As they have one tick is secured inside this A zone, working on the second one. Big eyes from Beans on the Maple to get those shots down and cut off the rotations from Docs. Weeman looking to make a play from Green. Gets the shots on in, but hitting the deck is going to be Steve-O up top. Cleaned up by the nade. Third tick being worked on here. Chance for Team War to spoil the fun on the inside. Wardy cleans up, gives him over towards B, and over at that A zone. It is all Ultra EU. Furious still alive on the inside. Finally cut down by Wardy, but he has put this A zone in lock for Ultra EU now.
And only 2 to go. I don't see Ultra investing that glide bomb here. It's a really strong defensive tool. Offensively, you'd have to play some pretty great Call of Duty off the back of it still. So at this point for Ultra, you can be very glad about the fact you've got 3 ticks, perhaps dive to make a 4th. Still got 90 seconds, so it is doable, but for Ultra, you've got a lot of wins already. You don't need to get over-aggressive here. You don't need to throw away too much.
I don't know, Andy. Maybe it's just the risky plays that I'm feeling right now, but you get 4 down if you're Ultra EU, and that glide bomb is looking mighty tasty, so if they
do
find
have
the
P1
opportunity...
presence.
2-0 wouldn't be that bad, and there we go. Glide bomb's going to be invested. Wardy at the call for it, and that's the opening now to B. However, Weeman cuts down Steve-O, so that glide bomb, you were hoping it was going to be utilized to the full potential, but it hasn't been. Furious on an island inside of the B zone has stopped the clock at 58 seconds. In fact, looking to secure that first take. It's not going to be secured as Weeman gets eyes on, or actually cleans him up with the nade, and the glide bomb amounts to nothing. 9 on 9.
Yeah, I don't know if I agree with that. Even if Ultra come out on top in this round, I don't know if I agree with the usage of the glide bomb there. A great job to ice up from War and just continue to hold on to this. It is very much so by the fingernails, and Furious can just split this in half. Very nearly. And Gizmo and someone else, Denza, are neck and stood back to back somehow. Very weird end to this round. I just don't agree with that glide bomb use. I really don't. I don't know why it's happened.
Had the potential to put this round away, and Ultra EU have let it slip through the fingertips. 3v7, 17 seconds left. There is just no way this is getting done. Gizmo gets cut down right off the respawn, and Team War now answer back with a defensive hold. 1-1, and most importantly for themselves, they get rid of that glide bomb, which really could have been the bearer of bad news going into this defensive round.
Yeah, it's exactly what I was kind of trying to get at. It's a case of you've got a lot of good things happening for you already. You don't need to get greedy. Just play it out casually. It can be frustrating when you have all that P1 control, all that pressure, but you can't get to the point. I understand. Perhaps dive it and just try and get a tick. It's good enough. Offensive rounds are very difficult to take. Defense is where you want to be at your strongest.
Right away, Team War, they want to dip their toes into the A zone, and what a great break off so far. Another 2 kills, just reminiscent of that first round that we saw. The thing is that Ultra EU were able to climb their way back and find 2 of their own in a rebuttal. This time around, it's going to be Maple distracting them over towards B, allowing this first tick to get secured into this A zone. And Ultra EU, they don't really have a way back in. You can see Wardy with forward aggression is going to take down Furious, and now looking to just pick off these respawning players. He's on 6 in a row. On pace for a glide bomb as well, and Gizmo, he doesn't know what's about to hit him.
Yeah, lovely. Out of Maple, manages to shift all of the Ultra EU resources over towards B. A should be very, very swift to fall. They've got a several life advantage, so a really good start to this attacking round out of war. Ever since that glide bomb was called in, it has been one way. Joey Gizmo, the guy coming back in from the CDL, did insane things with the London Royal Ravens, needs to show the kind of quality that he has if his team are going to stay alive here.
He's really looking like Rookie of the Year at the start of Vanguard.
Oh.
Now, seeing if he could take that success over into Challengers. But look at this. Wardy invests the glide bomb on their offense. It's going to be 3 down. The respawn's right away going to be setting back up into these power positions. And Team War, they had no opportunity to make something happen off of that. Denza, yes, has slipped the line into the back line, but how much can he get done here? He's able to find 2. Looking for the 3rd here. Fury is still alive inside the tank. Managing to hold things off while the rest of Ultra EU respawn now, cutting away at Team War, who have found their way into the spawn, just haven't been able to make anything happen with it. 21 lives to 12 in Ultra EU. They have weathered the storm so far.
I still don't agree with it. The only reason
Another
I can
glide bomb.
kind of understand it, and I didn't even see that one come in. It just lights up the feed, and you've got to win this round. You are 10 lives up. You've got to start bleeding.
Really want to put the hurt to Ultra EU here. Denza, beautiful nade on Furious. Gizmo on 52 HP. Needs to stay alive, but Maple finds an angle. Maple lines up beans as well. 7 players left for Ultra EU. The respawn's coming up from the green, but here's Wardy now to cut them off. Finds one onto Steve-O. The trade from Furious is going to be there. Maple stops the clock at 56 seconds. So to Ultra EU, they need to put the pedal to the metal and get things going, because this is going the way of Team War, and it is so far in their favor. Wee Man on the ring is going to be able to get cut down from Gizmo. Way back into the round. Gizmo with the pistol. He cleans things up. Still alive into the round. Ultra EU now 16v5.
2 ridiculously high quality kills out of Gizmo will give them a chance. It's a very slim chance. They need to basically be perfect from here, but we've seen it happen before. No respawns remaining for Ultra. Some huge gunfights about to come up. Beans gets 2 and Gizmo gets 1. You've got 30 seconds if you're War. You've invested 2 glide bombs. This needs to work now.
I mean, at some point, you do look at the lives, but you look at the time, 25 seconds, and a Team War, they cannot afford another shutdown. Even if it's scrappy Ultra EU, they are just okay to burn this clock. Devo opens up with the kill onto Wee Man. A second one onto Wardy. Looking to make a play now. Maple cut down by Beans. 10 seconds left. Gizmo inside the hill on 4 in a row. Doesn't have the eyes onto Denza, but Devo's going to cut him down now. Last chance, but nobody in a position to touch. Ultra EU 4v1 18, and they make it happen. No way.
I'll go back to it. I'll say it again. I do not understand this insistence on trying to use your glide bombs to open things up and then not making anything work off the back of it. I can kind of understand the first one because Denza was in round the back, and I think they were going to try and use it to blow a hole and allow Denza to set up that pinch with them, but it just hasn't worked. Everything falling apart in that round for War. They've got to answer up big here with a good defense.
I mean, that is ice right there. Let's see if they can keep that going onto this offense, or is Team War going to set us to a round 5? Well, when Denza's shooting like that, it gets a little bit easier to make it happen. Everything that happened from Ultra EU off that breakoff has completely been null and void by the positioning of Team War and the gunfights that we're seeing.
We're so far back of Ultra EU. I said I really wanted to see them have a good defensive round here. And Denza starting with a 5-piece. Every time War needs someone to dig them out of a hole they've put themselves in, Denza comes up, aces. And now you've got so much forward pressure. Only 30 seconds for Ultra. They've got to be flying at this A point to try and get the clock stopped.
Wardy goes 1 for 1. Stevo looking to grasp now to get into this A zone. 29 seconds left. Denza has eyes on the players, rotating from players here. Beautiful shots to take him down. Beans the second one. Cuts off Wee Man from that top deck now. Chance to stop the clock in 20 seconds. Ultra EU now looking to get some progression into this A zone. First one should be done and dusted. As you can see, Team War setting up for an attack through green. I think Denza wants to lead the way, but look at this positioning from Gizmo, holding off the rotations.
Yeah, catches a couple of Team War players by surprise, and Maple will try and get in on this point. I don't know who stepped off of it or why, but Maple's managed to clear it, and 10 seconds to go.
A little bit personal on that one. Maple now flying on forward, finds 3 in a row. That should be it for this round as we're looking at a 5th one. On pace for Gava2 control. Team War, they keep the pattern going. Defense for defense. A silver lining here for both teams. No streaks going into this last round, but I'm curious to see who's going to get this last defense because I don't know about you, Andy, but I wasn't paying attention to the take progression throughout those first couple of rounds, and it does look like it's going to be Ultra EU on the defense for this last round.
If War somehow lose this, they're going to be asking so many questions themselves. They've outslayed considerably. They had considerably more utility at this point. If you are Team War, you really want to see this out. Gizmo, he's not at a great map, but he will open this up with 2. And just like that, the respawns are so far away. You've got a lot of players here on an island, and Stevo gets caught. That is at least damage limitation. That's
a big kill from Maple. Wee Man stays alive on top of the boat. See, last chance for a flank here from Ultra EU. It's going to be Beans to the middle of the map, and he's able to cut down 2, leaving Maple alone on an island with Wee Man right behind him in that boat. But it doesn't seem like they're able to be in a situation to really get things done. Maple still alive back here, but realistically, he's just playing distraction at the moment while his teammates try to come off spawn, just not making anything happen as constant pressure from Ultra EU. But now Maple strikes 6 in a row. A chance to get a glide bomb here. Gizmo is going to be on the opposite end of this gunfight, but it's going to be Stevo to shut it down. No glide bomb picked up. Ultra EU. They just got a crucial kill.
Yeah, absolutely massive. You're right, that glide. I mean, then again, you might not be right, because the way the glides have been used so far in this game, it's been nonsensical. Right. So, yeah, perhaps, if anything, doing Team War a favor. But Team War now, it is last dance saloon, 20 seconds to go. Down on lives, need to get to the A point.
Anybody touch? Denza needs to stay alive and get into the zone. Wee Man right above him. Denza's going to fall. 9 seconds left. 3 players here for Team War, but Beans cutting off Maple. Stevo finds Wardy. Wee Man now all the world on his shoulders, and Beans with the pistol looking to get it done. Gets the shots on in, slides in, reloading. This is so awkward, and Denza comes to the rescue. No way. The blunder from Maple right there, and here we go. Ultra EU, they get right back into things. Oh my word, I thought Beans absolutely fumbled the bag with that reload. Oh, but guys, Ultra EU, they get it done.
He's counting his lucky stars. He knows for certain that he very much so choked that kill. But Ultra, you get it done. You are reading that scoreboard correctly. There's a considerable difference in the slaying department, and Ultra U will be very glad to have come out on top. The streak usage from both teams was interesting, but what I will say is that Stevo, apparently on Gavutu with an AR, very, very good, puts up nearly the most damage in the lobby, went on some ridiculous streaks, 27 non-traded kills. Crazy. Apparently this guy's got a couple more years in his locker. We'll just throw him on an AR instead.
Well, it's not only that, you know, I really want to put a lot into the hands of Stevo for the performance he put down, but you have to reference back to that defense that Ultra NA should have lost to win a 4v18, somehow managed to hold on into the latter end of that. And, you know, it's moments like that where, although they're not pretty numbers, but every single player on Ultra EU made a play to make that happen. Yeah. So it might not be pretty, but they got the job done, and they scrapped their way to a map 3 victory. Now 2-1 up into the series. It's going to be an interesting hardpoint for what we got next, because that first one was ever so close. Folks, we're going to cut to a break. catch our breaths, get ready for this next hard point that's about to happen. And when we return, map number 4 between Team War and Ultra EU. Folks, welcome back to the Elite Challengers Europe Stage 3. My name is Seymour. Alongside me is Enigma, and we are hopping back into our matches for the second set, where we're looking at Team War and Ultra EU. Up 2-1 is Ultra EU right now, with a map that, honestly, Enigma, I don't think they should have won. I think that Team War really fumbled the bag back on that Gavin 2 control, and they really wish they could probably bring that back going into this game 4.
Yeah, if they don't win this series, they're going to be kicking themselves over, especially that round where they invested 2 glides on the offense. They were up, what was it, like 16-4, maybe even more than that, maybe like 18-5 or something. I don't know. It was considerable, and they managed to lose every gunfight from there. They go on to lose the game from there. They will look back at that one through gritted teeth. They'll not be very happy. But we do head to Berlin, where this is an unknown quantity, Seymour. We don't have anything on tape through S3 for either of these teams.
Oh, neither of them have yet to play Berlin Hardpoint inside of Stage 3 so far, at least inside of the season for this. And then check up on the qualifiers. Probably should have looked into that. But interesting enough, the past 2 days, they haven't played this on stream. We haven't yet get to see, how they fare up against each other on this map. But, we saw when Team War were backed against the wall in our last series against Celio Signs, and that Tuscan map number 4, they came alive and they bullied their way into that search and destroy at the end. And right now, if you're Team War, it's just getting to that map 5, because a Tuscan search and destroy in map 5 should favor them to close out the series.
Yeah, they're currently looking real good on Tuscan S&D, including the game 5 that you mentioned against Celio. The thing for me is they've got to now start to lean on some of their star pop-off players again. You've got to start to see Denza. Last series out, I criticized him. I gave him a bit of stick, and then he suddenly stuck up a 12 streak. So Denza, pick it up, man. Let's see another one of those. Yeah, it's just the thing is that they've not played bad by any stretch of the imagination. The S&D wasn't really their map. They don't really play Desert Siege that very much. They won the hard point that they should have won. They just messed up throughout that control. So hopefully, even though it's a fine one mistake, it doesn't come back to bite them.
That's just what we're going to do now. Every single time we need Denza to pop off, just criticize him a little bit, see if he drops 12 in a row.
I'm down for that.
It worked last time. Maybe it's going to work again. We can see it's going to be a census right now. Is right off the rip. He's going to find 2 in a row. Won't be able to find a third. Cut down by Gizmo. And right now, Ultra EU fighting for the front of the hill. Haven't been able to break. It's 20 unanswered second from Ultra EU. Finally, a break in the back from Stevo and Beans. Looking to put pressure on the inside of this hill. And Beans will take down Wee Man. So the break's going to come out from Ultra EU. But Team War with these better spawns, you can see them already looking to go and take over Mailroom.
I don't necessarily feel that there's better spawns because they got so much of the map to try and get across. Ultra EU, he will already be here. We'll cut some of them down, but because of the amount of resources invested in this rotation, Team War should be able to take it. Stevo, though, the knife in the back, potentially.
Back, and Stevo, the dagger, won't be able to stick into the chest of Team War, into that mail room. It is going to be them to hold off on the rotation, something that looks a little bit difficult, but they managed to scrape it out now. Looking for the post setup. You have Maple over inside of that B site, search and destroy, and Gizmo on 2 HP, just finessing his life around the outside. Maple has no idea he's around. Now it's going to be Gizmo to take down Maple, and on the inside, Furious breaks with the SMGs. So Ultra EU from the front, they managed to hold on to things, but you still see Team War right now in the position that they're at. This is not a strong position, because you need to fight now through P2 just to get to P3.
Yeah, and Gizmo's already setting himself up for P3. Gizmo knows exactly where he wants to be, and as all the gunfights go the way of Ultra, look how far away Team War is spawning as we are in scrap time, and Ultra are going to be so far advanced, but Stevo might miss a couple players slipping through here.
But even still, if he just turns around, he's going to spawn out so much information for his team in enemy lines. You have to set up now for Ultra EU. Here comes Team War, but Stevo strikes with the auto in hand and turns all the arrows around for Team War. And look at Beans just cleaning up house. 3 go down for Team War. It's going to be Wee Man last alive in this pressured situation, but the close spawn for Team War over towards the courtyard. We're going to be able to hit this right away. You can see Denza looking to make an overextension play, stopped by Stevo, and right on the front line. It's gatekeeping P3. Ultra EU, hold on.
They do lovely stuff out of Beans. He was set up there in a very much so commanding position. And this now, we start to look towards P4 for me. I don't know why War just continuing to hit this. Get yourselves away, get yourselves set up. A setup can be hard to hold on P4, but if you don't have a setup, it's even more difficult. Why are we still attacking this?
Oh,
Denza gets forward, gets 2, and finally cut down. So War will rotate in to the train station, get themselves in towards those train track side, but this is what I want to see. Can they look after dockside? Can they avoid players getting through the back? Steve-O trying to make it happen.
It's a tough one to decide. Densa throws his lives because he knows he has to spawn back with his team. But look at the opening that they've allowed Ultra EU to find. You got Steve-O around the back pulling spawns for his team. Maple has no idea he's going to be here. And, you know, all the gunfights going Ultra EU on the front line. They break right away through trains. And 4 go down as clean as ever. That is a huge mistake out of Team War.
It is. You're right. Like, you can continue to hit that in some sense and hope that the spawn then drags you back over the other side, but you're playing an RNG game. We're in Vanguard. The spawns do have some sort of logic to them, but they're not exactly foolproof. So you're playing a bit of a lottery game there. You're rolling a dice that you don't necessarily have on your side, and unfortunately it does leave a gap. It's then a staggered defensive hold from Team War. Ultra break it. They're in. P5's a stone throw away. This has all been one side throughout most of our first rotation.
As Densa still putting some pressure back on the last hard point. Gonna transition over now to the new hill. And he finds 3 in a row to transition with that early time now. 46 seconds to pick up. Ultra EU in the better positioning now for the second set of rotations that we're going to be seeing after this 5th hill does go the wayside. But Team War, this is much needed time to pull back. So realistically, you don't really need to focus on the rotation. You just need to put a lot of stocks inside of this 5th hill. See if you can cut down this lead, and they have 70 to 137. Steve-O is going to relinquish the pressure on the inside. Back they go. Wardy, beautiful shot on Steve-O, but look at the answer back. Furious and Gizmo, they light up the feed, and Beans, he wants a little bit to play with as well. The only thing is, I don't know how they did it, but they gave up the spawns.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter, apparently, because all the gunfights are just going to go the way of Ultra EU. So it will be Ultra in for P1. And bear in mind, P1 is a sleeper money hill. You can chalk up some serious time on this. So you've now got this situation where Team War are scrambling because very soon this could become very messy. They've got the numbers, though, for this hit.
And they break from the front. Gizmo will lock things down 1-2. Crisp shots, 4 in a row now for Joey Gizmo. For number 5, Denz is going to hop into the hill, but hops right into the hands of Gizmo. Going to be finally cleaned up from a nade out of Maple, but so scrappy. It's already been 30 points picked up from Ultra EU inside of this hill, and Furious is going to find a nade onto Maple to just keep the time going the way of Ultra EU inside of this first hill offices. As Team War still dedicating some lives to this. They're throwing 3 players out. Gonna be flanking from Wardy. Gizmo reads it, hops back into the hill. It's Wee Man last alive here, but cut down by Steve-O. This is phenomenal out of Ultra.
Sleeper money hill coming alive, Seymour. Ultra chalking up so much time will extend out a ridiculous advantage. Team War are one hell of a side, and to be so far behind right now, this is a shock to the system, very much so. So Gizmo, by the way, had a bad map last time out. Team War didn't manage to see out that gift that they were handed, and now Gizmo's putting them to the sword. 17 and 11 make it 18. Now trying to get dockside control. It will fall the way of War, but they've got a long way to go.
Need to hold on tight for this hill. Beans still lurking. He caught by the stun. Damages up Wee Man, 12 HP. Gonna stay alive. Beautiful nade at the doorstep. Fury's gonna walk right into it. Now the pressure from the top ropes. Bean's going to be up there. Can he? Wee Man cut him down. It's going to be a big no now. Denza needs to go big in this position just to keep time out of the hands of Ultra and EU. Beans is going to drop on down. Denza strikes, turns around with the help of Wardy. Furious is going to fall, and now Gizmo drops as well. 3 kills down. War, they need to fly, and they need to put pressure on P3 now.
Yeah, Maple needs to clear out this side. Last time, Beans locked down this entire docks, and it made it very difficult for War to get forward. And Ultra, again, with the players in the correct positions, and as the gunfights go their way, it's looking like a repeat scenario.
War with the setup. Wardy needs to make a play. Beans again cutting him down. He's got 3 in a row, holding down Dog. Stenza inside fire. The closest one pushed up for Team War to hop into this hill, looking to break by himself. It's going to be Gizmo alone inside this hill. Cuts down Wardy, relinquishes the pressure to the right, and takes down Denz on the front ropes. But look at this. Wee Man Maple, 3 in a row. Make it 4 in a row for the break. Spawning out Ultra NA or Ultra EU back to P1. And you'd also have some players from Team War there to hit the flank as well. So there's a much needed time from P3. Wardy's here to close out on the rotations from the teammates. And I mean, this is big from Team War. The only thing is that you are trapped inside the back.
Yeah, you really are. And this hill time gain has not been clean either. It's been completely messy. Maple will get himself another 3-piece. The rotation will be in for Ultra EU, but hot on their heels, a Team War side that need to make it happen now because Ultra on the very, very precipice of taking this whole series.
Maple needs to go big here. Beans is going to catch him out. 3v4 inside this hill. Wardy looking to make a desperation play. He's going to find Gizmo inside the hill, take them out of time. And 2 kills go down, make it 3 down. Zenza gets a big 2-piece. Ultra EU still spawning in the back, so they're going to be able to hit this once again. Right away, it's going to be Wardy looking to cut off these rotations. He's going to find Beans into the warehouse. Can't take down Gizmo. Inside the hill, you got 3 players of Team War looking to hold this one down. But here comes Ultra EU. All the nades, all the stuns, all the pressure that you can ask for to close this one out. Only 16 seconds, and this Berlin hardpoint is going to be gone.
Infurious is just going to set himself up to cut off the players that are flooding through the front. Gets one, delays the time. 6 seconds to go for War to seal it, to not lose this.
Seconds left. For the contention, Denza keeping it alive. Weeman finds Furious. Denza, how are they holding on? There's no way we're about to see a over 100-point comeback inside of Berlin hardpoint, but Team War, they have control for the time being. Ultra EU. Only 2 seconds to put this one away, put away the series. Maple cuts down Furious in the front line. Beans takes out Weeman from the hill. Gizmo finds a second. Inside this hill is going to have to be a big play out of Wardy, but he's going to drop it into the hill. Comes Gizmo, and he closes it out. Gizmo finds 2 seconds, and Ultra EU 250 to 152 to take down the series.
Those late hits that were coming in from the War side, you can think of several, but they give up P3 essentially both times. I mean, in one situation, they basically pushed into it, but continuing to hit P2 over and over again, then hitting P3 very late as well at times. It just allowed Ultra to just completely steamroll them. I could go back through lots of different points in the map where I felt like they're trying almost too hard to win the gunfights. They're not playing necessarily the rotation game. And if you're not going to do that against a side like Ultra EU, you're going to get players like Beans dropping 32 and 19. They went huge. Did the Ultra EU side take nothing away from them? But I think War will definitely watch that one back with some things that they want to fix.
Oh, for sure. I mean, throughout the whole hardpoint, it seemed like Team War were a little bit scatterbrained the whole time in that fourth map. And on the opposite end, Toronto Ultra EU, they just looked comfortable on Berlin. And I think that's the reason we haven't seen these 2 teams play it inside of stage 3 is because this should be an auto veto when you're going against Ultra EU and Team War. They don't want to go to this map.
Yeah, I think that especially when it comes to P3, they have a setup that they really, really love. So you just get Beans essentially set up looking over in the entire docks area. He seems very comfortable where he is to just pick up gunfights, knows the angles that he's backing on down, and cleans up a lot of kills. And then they're very happy to break 4 as well. We saw several times that they were just happy to bully themselves on in. They look good here. You can see why you don't get to play it very, very much. I don't know. I just feel like there's so many different points where this could have swung the other way if you don't get that late hit coming in through your P4, your P3 to 4, especially throughout our first rotation. That's where the game really got away.
It's just constantly you saw, an opportunity for Team War to take map control, but every single time they got a little bit too of or they overstepped a little bit too far, and it costed them over and over again. And it was the whole case for the whole series. Yeah, they walk away with that map 1 Tuscan that we said they were strong, but it was a close Tuscan, 250 to 218, neck and neck until the 3rd set of rotations when Team War just came alive with some huge late rotations. But after that, 3 maps in a row for Ultra EU, the Desert Siege 6-3, the Gabbatu Control 3-2, and then the Berlin Hardpoint, which we just saw 250 to 152. Quite a strong series from Ultra EU, if you ask me. A big way to bounce back after a loss to Dos Tontos. And honestly, I am impressed with the way that they were able to handle that. Yeah, you don't get a lot of time to practice with Gizmo coming into your team, but every single series, they look to just get stronger.
Yeah, and I think as well, like we spoke about it quite a lot throughout that game 3 where, War invested 2 glides, they had a life advantage. Ultra, you still need to ice that up. They
Oh, they did.
played perfect Call of Duty from that point on. Saw out a scenario that they should never have been anywhere near it. And Gizmo had a bad map, like especially for his standard. And that is a gift handed to you. And instead, players like Stevo were stepping up with an AR, going absolutely massive. So yeah, Ultra EU, it's a weird result considering that they lost to Dos Santos like literally an hour ago. But there's a massive ceiling to this side. Clearly, they just need to find the points that they're not fitting the whole Gizmo picture together yet, which is understandable considering he arrives so late. Yeah, I think that this could be a side as they develop, as they become more of a unit together, that could really very much so go back to the top of this lot.
Well, that's going to close out all the action for the EU side of things for day number 2. But a little bit of takeaways to talk about, Enigma, before we close out the show. I mean, we saw plenty of map fives. We saw a lot of action, a lot of close games. What are your big takeaways from day 2? Maybe teams surprising you, maybe some teams really falling the wayside, which you didn't expect. What caught your eye today in day 2?
I think a lot of our sometimes we do get elite seasons where it's a bit predictable. We know who our top teams are going to be. We know who our bottom teams are going to be. We've seen some massive showings from sides that we would probably have predicted to be at the bottom today. Unfortunately, Celio signs. It's just the roughest evening in the world for them. But you've got several teams throughout here who are causing upset results. Ultra EU losing to Dos Santos, although Dos Santos are of course insane. You, it's still a case of okay, well, we just have these constant like back forth series because then Ultra EU come and take it off war. And it's one of the beauties of elite challenges and what we get to see. But I think we're going to end up very much so with a scenario where when we come to like the final of who goes through, Bob's your money. I have no idea who to pick.
Well, I think that's why I was so excited to get into this season 3 and see these new teams, come together, a couple of roster change, some players who might just be able to pick it up a little bit more in the second half of the season because, it's what we got in Cold War. The same thing, a lot of players who really made a name for themselves in Cold War came alive in the second set of the season. So right now inside season 3 of Challengers, I feel like for EU and NA, or for really realistically any region, this is where you need to show up because this is where you're starting to look at finals down the road and you're looking at season 4 and all of a sudden Vanguard's going to be over before you know it. And this is really where you need to step up to that next level.
Yeah, 100%. Like you're right. We are. I mean, after the month's break, it feels like we've almost restarted the whole season, which feels weird. But
It
it
does.
is very much so a case of you are now getting into the later stage of the season. This is the point to step up. I do think there are some players that are starting to make a massive case for themselves. Cobra in that first series was ridiculous. Depa put up some really really good performances. Players that are showing that they can adapt to a game through a year, improve, get better, and start to take it to these top teams. A lot of players to keep an eye on right now. We will no doubt do that as we head
Oh
through the
yeah.
remaining games. But yeah, I look at the table. It's super super close. It's very much so difficult to pick who goes through here. There's going to be some interesting tiebreaker scenarios for sure.
There is, but picking up on where you're talking about with Celio signs, not even that. I mean, Dizzy's Rascals. You look at Nixa
Yep.
x ACCL, like both of those teams. A lot of players coming from the ACCL. Big shout out to them and really making a name for themselves inside Vanguard. So big shout out to them because a lot of those players have really impressed me inside season 3. But folks, like I said, that's going to be all for EU as we are closing out the stream here. But coming up soon, we got North America Challengers. It's going to be Kamaka and Susano to take you through that. So I guess we'll see you a bit for Clutch. It's going to be done for now from the two of us, but NA right around the corner.